The jag off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, we don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, we don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two dumb Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Yeah, everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the show. This is episode 983. Mike, just 17 freaking shows from the Big 1000. I can't even begin to understand and believe this, but where is sound coming from? Is this me?
That's you, brother.
That's just wonderful.
I'm
just gotta find it. There we go. That should be it.
Mike Wallace episodes away, brother.
Mike, 17 shows. I can't even wrap my head around the fact that we're going to be hitting 1,000 soon. It's very exciting here for the show. Such a milestone, and I know that we're very excited about it. We thank everybody who's been here for the ride along the way as well. It's been quite a ride. Again, just 17 quick shows from the Big 1000. It's today's 983. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Glad to see everybody back today. A lot of things to get into, Mike, as it was a busy weekend as far as sports and beyond. So many things going on around us here in Pittsburgh, especially. We have some championships that were won this weekend. We have all kind of things, Mike, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are just 90 days away from kicking it off to start the regular season. So, to say what you want, 90 days, it comes and goes quick, especially considering what we still have. We still have camp before then, few things like this. So a lot of stuff to get into today. Let me jump on the board bright and early today. Welcome. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to the show. Glad to see everybody today. I do want to say what's up to my man, Christophus. Always great seeing Christophus. I know that he'll be coming up next month from South Florida for camp in St. Vincent College at Latrobe in Westmoreland County. Also, I do want to say what's up to Tortilla. He says this. He says Marco Bulli tried to buy Viagra at Dick's Sporting Goods. I wonder how that went for him. Welcome to the show, my friend. Always great seeing Tortilla Jackson, all the way from Sacramento, California. What up? My man, the original OG, Yinzer Joe. He says, hey, what's up? Here we go. Let's go. Let's get through Monday. That's right, baby. We're almost there. We're getting there. We're here to help you finish the rest of your day. I hope we could do a good job at that. Welcome to the show, Yinzer Joe. Always great seeing you, my friend. And also, Tortilla says A's got killed 23-9. Pirates about to smack us. I wouldn't be too I wouldn't hold my breath on that. We'll talk about that a little bit as we do kick the show off. But you are right. The A's are hosting the Buccos starting tonight, Mike, with a 3-game set after losing the series to the Marlins.
Oh,
Yes, that's right. The Marlins. The Marlins beat us 2-1 this weekend with a 4-2 win yesterday to wrap up the series. Pirates dropped to 36-36. They are out there playing the A's, Mike, for the next 3 days, starting tonight, 9:40, the start time.
we need to bounce back. And once again, the Buccos lost another Paul Skeens start. Yes, he did give up 2 home runs, 2 earned runs, but my God, the man struck out 10, and you couldn't generate another run for him.
Yeah,
You're the hottest team in you're like one of the best scoring teams in baseball, and you can't get any for your ace.
I wonder what the psychology is behind that because, again, Mike, we are the 4th highest scoring team in the league. However, Paul Skeens loses 4 games in a row where he pitches a gem.
Yeah.
Either the bullpen or we just couldn't get enough hits to outscore the other team. But it's truly incredible what's happening with this team. And this is why Tortilla, I say don't hold your breath on that. I think you probably have a few wins coming out your way as I'm feeling the season start to slip away, Mike. Waiting till the end of July to make your trades. I just don't think that this is a great strategy in the majors. That's 2/3 of your season's over at that point.
Yeah, and back to the psychology thing real quick. It's like when the Steelers see a rookie right tackle. We think, oh, we're going to have a dominant game. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Or, you got the backup goalie and, oh, we're going to dominate. It doesn't happen. And I'm right there with you, brother. If you know you have a need in baseball because the season's so long, make the move now. Make the move now. I'm a big proponent for that. And definitely baseball, basketball, hockey. Your seasons are so long. Make moves early. If they don't work out, you still have time to correct again. You see it, fix it now, and then you might actually be in a better place than you were, without making that move. And you still have a whole season to go, and then you can get a whole many more games ahead of you before you get there.
Absolutely. So we do got that going on. Let me grab Ginger Joe real quick. He does have a comment here on the Pirates. Skeets can't do it all, just like Rogers can't. Team sports require other players to step it up. I think, unfortunately, what it is, Yinzer Joe, and again, I don't get me wrong. The hitting is just putrid when Paul Skeens throws, and at the end of the day, for whatever reason, again, they're scoring the 4th most runs in the league at all the other time. But I agree. Here's the problem: the bullpen's really bad. It's not even average. If the bullpen was at least average, I think the Pirates would be in a lot better shape. They have elite pitching from 1 to 4. Mike, they have guys that could be 1 or 2s on any other team. Also, the batting, again, Mike was scoring the 4th most runs in the league this season. Says a lot about the offense as well. So at the end of the day, Mike, they have to get the bullpen fixed. And again, if you wait till the end of July, your season's over because now you have to play catch up. Why do that? Why even do that to yourself? Get in there, get the needs that you find the needs that you have and take care of it. But that's not the Pirates' way. It's not what they do. They lose. They lose better than everybody else. Let's continue to move on, Mike. Right here, I'm going to go to what do we got? Let's talk about the Passion for a minute. The women, they play football here in Pittsburgh. They are a damn good team. Mike, the Pittsburgh Passion, they win 49-0. Last game of the year, Mike, they finish up with a 5-1 record. They're heading on to the playoffs as the number 1 seed once again. They are going up against in 2 weeks from this past Saturday on the 27th, Mike, they are going to play. Get this. The Mile High Blaze, the team from Denver.
It's just a great name. Just a great name.
Absolutely. And you can check that out right here on YouTube. 2 weeks from today, Passion will be hosting the Mile High Blaze. That's a 6 o'clock start on Saturday. A few other things we're going to blow through, Mike, and then we're going to get into Steeler talk as Mike McCarthy's rookie school kicks off today, tomorrow, and Wednesday this week as the rookies stay behind here in the Berg as everybody else heads home to spend time with family, to get together, maybe work out outside the organization. But, Mike, the rookies do stick around for 3 days more as they do kind of go over some things that they need to work on as individuals and things like this going in. So let's talk about a few of these other sports, Mike. Let's talk about more football. Not the football that we tend to love here in Pittsburgh, but our Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the soccer team, Mike. The Hounds, they win 1-0 over the Indy 11 team. They'll be back at it next Saturday against the Hartford Athletic Squad. And then also the Riveters played 2 games. They played Friday. They beat Erie Sports Center 3-0 then. And then they played the same team yesterday on Sunday. They won 1-0 then. So again, without the Pirates, all the rest of our Pittsburgh teams looking pretty good throughout the weekend. And finally, Mike, a few championships were won this weekend. As a matter of fact, three championships were won in the UFL. The Louisville Kings beat the DC Defenders 27-20 to win the UFL championship for the Louisville Kings' first championship in the UFL. Congrats to them. Also, Mike, in the NBA, the New York Knicks, they win the series 4-1 over the Spurs with a 94-90 win over the early part of the weekend. And finally, the Canes, they win their series against the Las Vegas Knights. They win 3-0 in that game to win the series 4-2. Three championship series, 3 championships won, Mike, the Canes, the Knicks, and the Louisville Kings in the UFL.
Yeah, my DC Defenders fell short. My San Antonio Spurs fell short, but my Jordan Stahl-led Hurricanes came through in a clutch and bailed me out and got me a win. Jordan Stahl joins Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby as back-to-back first-round draft, number 1 overall picks to win a Conn Smythe in the Stanley Cup Finals.
That's awesome.
That's a little Pittsburgh connection there for Jordy Stahl. So, Ray Shuro knew what he was doing when he was making those picks back in the day.
Absolutely. Mike, lots of good things going on again here in Pittsburgh. We did touch on that. I do want to touch on a few things before we do get started on the day. I do want to talk about, Mike, last night, this UFC fight. Did anybody watch UFC? See, I'm not a UFC guy. I'm just not. I have nothing against it. But I did not watch this. I seen it Chop. I seen it RB. I seen Derpy. Everybody on the group chat was all up. They were really excitable about this whole thing, Mike. Again, I didn't watch it. However, the big UFC fight last night in Washington, D.C., I didn't watch a minute of it, to be honest. I kind of kept up through what the guys were saying, but I didn't watch a minute.
I did not. I had zero interest in it whatsoever. It reminded me of the movie Idiocracy, and that's all I'm going to say.
I don't know. I don't have anything against it. I just don't. I'm not a particular fan of the sport. But anyway, at the end of the day, guys, there you go. That happened over the weekend. A few other things here, Mike, before we do get started. John Fedko, of course, the longtime sports caster here in Pittsburgh. His son, apparently, I don't have all the details, but he's on the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah.
Like he made the squad. He's a really good baseball player, apparently, and John Fedko's boy is a Minnesota Twin.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love. If anyone grew up in Pittsburgh and watching what's Channel 11 WPXI, I think that's where he was, the sports guy, the Fedko Zone.
Yeah, man.
It was one of the best local sports guys in America. It was great. And it's awesome to see his son making the majors.
For sure. And one more. Let me just touch on one area real quick before we do get into Steelers talk for the duration, guys. This, Mike, on Friday, I talked about a friend of ours here. He asked early in the week last week if I wanted to go up to a Pirate game with him, and it was when the Dodgers were in town. And I said, no. I said, catch me on the weekend. And maybe on the weekend it might be I bet it might be better for me. And they had the Marlins in town. Well, Mike, on Friday night, it was. Bear with me. Let me finish what I'm saying before you freak out on me, everybody. But it was Gay Pride night, Friday night. Which, okay, it's Gay Pride month, Mike. Coincidentally, at Gay Pride night at the Pirates game Friday, it was also Dollar Hot Dog Day. I'm just saying.
That's great marketing right there.
I'm just saying. There you go.
You two should have went.
I was
link arms and down some dogs.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. Mike, with that being said, I do have some results before we get into our Steeler talk. I do have results as for Gay History Month, Gay Pride Month. I do have both Mike and Derpy set up. I have a profile set up for them on a gay website, and this particular bit is to monitor who could pull more man ass between Mike and Derpy here on the show. Mike, I have some results as of right now. I'll continue to follow this to the end of the month and see how it plays out, but we do have a clear front runner if out of you and Derpy to see who could pull more man ass this gay Pride Month. Mike, you ready for some results?
I'm ready for some results.
All right, here we go. Now it's broken down between a few things. I do have the views for each of you by gay men. I also have the likes for each of you by gay men and a few comments. And I'm going to leave the comments for a little bit further down the road because I got to be honest with you. Men are aggressive. Men are really aggressive. And I was, as I was manning this project over the weekend, I thought I felt bad for women just because of the way men are. They're very aggressive. I couldn't even imagine what some people were saying to one another through DMs. But I do have an idea now, and I got to be honest with you, men are definitely more aggressive than you would think. I guess I could say, Mike. I was a little bit surprised, and I'm not used to having my ding every 5 seconds as I do whenever I would per se enter a dating app, Mike. These guys, they're aggressive. Gay men are some of the most aggressive flirters, I guess you could say. But let me get you some results, guys. Here we go. This is the views and the likes, Mike. One of you are certainly not well out ahead, but considerably farther ahead than the other, Mike. So as of right now, I set it up on Saturday. Derpy has 49 views. People, 49 gay men has searched Derpy's profile, and 16 likes. 16 likes. Now you studly muffin over here. Let me read yours. Throughout the weekend, you have 57 views by gay men on this site, Mike, and also you have 23 likes. And I see Somber saying ain't no way, but I got to be honest with you, these gay men are very aggressive. They really are. And again, I don't think that some of them even care what people look like, as we do with women, I think sometimes, because that's like, you know what, it's a chick. But anyway, besides the point,
that's
Mike,
a 40% like rate. I will take that.
57 views for you, 49 views for Derpy, 23 likes for you, and 16 likes for Derpy. Again, we're gonna let this thing play out through the end of the month. I won't keep shoving it in your face. But guys, we will continue to keep track of this, Mike, as you are in the lead. If you would like, I could read you a couple. I'm not going to read a lot of them, but if you could, hold on, let me fix this right. I could read you a couple messages that you did receive. I could say that you guys received quite a few messages because again, very aggressive. I noticed. Let me know if my camera stays good, Mike. I'm switching out of this for 1 second just to get some of these messages, if you will. Let's go right about here. And go here. Okay. So Mike, I'll send you the picture of the video, or I'll send you the picture shortly that I put up of you and Derpy, so you can at least see what the guys are swooning after here. I'm going to go right here, Mike. I'm going to start with I'm just going to take a random one. Okay. So this guy here, he's 50 miles away. He's 51 years old. He says, "Hey, you new guy, want to light my fire online?" He says, okay, so that's kind of corny, but let's continue down here. It gets interesting. It gets better. Here's one for you. This guy is 53 years old, Mike. He says this: "My mouth is just in the mood for a hard cack that jerks hornily when I suck it until it squirts violently. May I spoil you orally?" And I know that some people are probably gagging in their mouth, so I'm only going to read one more on yours, and then I'll read a couple of Derpies. And then I promise you, we're going to talk Pittsburgh Steelers. I promise we're going to talk Steelers, guys. Let me just grab another random one here, as they are all equally. Here we go. This one here, this guy here, he's 31, Mike. "Can I suck your toes and then your cack? I love that so much," he says. And one more. Let me just grab another random. Let's grab Napoleon. He says this: "May I ask also, do you like foot sex? If so, what turns you on the most?" So there you go, Mike. It's out of
God,
a ton.
Not a hi, hello, how are you?
There's
straight to.
No, they're very aggressive, as I noticed. Jeez. As I said, it's no haze, it's no hellos. Now let me come back to where I can see everything that's going on. All right, I see you here. And now let me grab a couple of Derpies, and then we're going to get rolling. You ready? All right, this first one here, I wrote these down because it's actually, I had to use two different emails because I have two different accounts. It's a whole thing over here. This one here is for a couple of Derpies messages he got, Mike. Number one: "Would you like to be my pleasure slave? Would you like to be my pleasure slave?" That's one of them. Let's go here. "I see you're new here. I'll show you the ropes. Wow, you're a cutie. Do you like gangbangs?" "Looking for a man who'll give me I don't even know what I have written down here, but it's something nasty to do with semen in his mouth, in or around his mouth." That is what's going on. Again, this is the ass that Mike and Derpy are pulling. They do both have a profile, Mike. I'll send you the pictures over shortly, and you can put them up to let everyone see what everybody is swooning over on the gay website. Again, for Gay Pride Month, we're not leaving anybody out. Mike, you are in the lead. And again, if you hold on strong, you could probably win this thing.
I like how they all see Derpy, they immediately want to make him their slave and have Derpy give them pleasure, where they see me and they just want to make me feel good. And you know what? It's kind of refreshing. I kind of like that, to where I don't have to do anything. I just have to sit there and get pleasured. Now, if you can get me on a site where you can find me a hot goth girl who wants to pleasure me, I'm all for it.
Yeah. So there you go. There's where we are. Welcome back to the show. Monday afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Jesus Christ.
Glad to see you here today. Let me say what's up to everybody on the board, and we're going to get into Steeler talk. I promise you. I promise. All right, let's go. I'm going to start right here. Christopher says this. When was the last time the Pirates even beat the Marlins, even with even Skeens on the mound? I don't know. I am so frustrated with these guys, Chris. I can't even. I don't know. You do own the Pirates. It's everybody owns the Pirates. It's freaking terrible. Seattle, welcome to the show. Welcome to the board. He says, wipe that smile off your face. I was wondering why you were really cheesing earlier, Mike. I don't know who this guy was, but he popped in and told you to wipe the smile off your face.
You know what? Some people just do not love people being happy, man. There's a lot of hate in their heart.
There's a lot of hate out there. You're right. It's wild. Yinzers says, it's the Pirates owners and GM are at fault. You can't just bring in Skeens and no other help. Just makes me feel like they give a lot of false hope. Then they slip out of contention. I really hate the owner. Unfortunately, as I said, they spend more money this year, Joe, than they ever have. They ever have to start a season. This is the highest payroll the Pirates ever had in the history of the team. And it goes back to 1887. Of course, not a lot of money back then. But again, at the end of the day, Mike, no team has ever made more money in Pittsburgh as a baseball team than this Pirates team. So, I mean, they're spending money this year, which is odd. But you know what? They're pretending to try, I guess. Like, so that's what we're up against. I'm so ready to get the Pirates behind me for the week. Let's go right here to Lindsay. Always great seeing her on the terrible board. She says, hey, what's up, Lindsay? Always great to see ya from right here in the Berg. Somber ran out gagging, but that's all right. Hopefully we'll see him back. He says, oh God, Lindsay, run. Lindsay says this. Definitely don't know if I'm staying with this title. Let's continue down here. Just Learning, always great seeing Just Learning on a terrible board. My man, he says Wembley didn't want to shake hands after they lost, like the Detroit Pistons did. It's an emotional game. And you know what I mean? We've all played sports to some degree, and there's just sometimes you don't want to shake somebody's hand. And I don't say it's right. I don't think that it's the right thing to do. But at the end of the day, I've certainly had that emotion myself while playing sports. But at the end of the day, I guess you got to do what you got to do.
You know, I hate the forced sportsmanship. Give me your real, honest emotions after a win or a loss.
Yeah.
You know, don't be we all said we want our athletes to be authentic, and when they are, people want to bitch about them. You know? If you want to be, say, hey, good job to the other team, say good job to their team. Say fuck you to them, say fuck you to them. You know, you've been battling for, like night in, night out. Emotions exist, hatreds happen. If I hate someone, I'm not going to congratulate them when they win. Fuck that. Fuck them.
Lindsay, she said, yeah, I saw Somber. What's wrong with his contract? So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. That seems to be the conversation around town. JPJ is the GOAT, but Tyrone, I argue, I think that you're the GOAT, my friend. And I also hope that you're doing well. I know that you had to run to the hospital last week. Hope things got cleared up for you there, sir. Let's go to Just Learning. He says, one off the UFC fighters called Michelle Obama a man. And you know what? I didn't watch it. So I didn't see this. I seen people say this. How long did this thing go? It seemed like it went for a long time. But I did not watch the UFC fight last night. Let's go to Somber. I guess we'll see what they want to talk about. Probably the same things were said when he signed. To be honest, I don't know. We will see. As a matter of fact, I don't even know what I want to say about this just yet. We'll get into it shortly. About TJ Watt. Let's follow that up with Tyrone. He says, hell yeah, UFC was lit last night at the White House. Maybe I'll watch it. I don't know. Yinzer Joe, he says, Omar Khan's the GOAT getting ready to trade JPJ. Too many GOATs around Pittsburgh. Let's continue here. Tortilla says we should sign Bobby Akikarik for cheap for more inside linebacker depth. You know what? I wouldn't rule it out, Mike. I mean, I could still see them making some moves.
Yeah.
Nothing that's going to blow the roof off the place. But it's totally still in question. Even Van Jefferson, Mike. I'm seeing if he gets cut by Washington, people are saying that bringing him through the bottom end of the wide receiver depth could be a possibility. So I don't rule anything out at this point.
No, and like this time of the year, around this time last year, not this exact time, but the time between mini camp or end of OTAs and training camp, Omar Khan, that's when he ended training Mika Fitzpatrick. And that's when he's made some minor moves here and there. So he's not, I don't think he's going to be done wheeling and dealing and tinkering with the roster.
Just Learning says Derpy would be a sloppy gay. Mike would be controlling. Somber, we did get that. Let's go down here to Tortilla. He says the MVS LGBT podcast. Let's go down here. Somber says I meant ain't no way this is a thing. LOL. Let's continue down here. I do want to say what's up to Christine. Always great seeing Christine from Kentucky. Christine says, you think gay men are aggressive? Lesbians are out of control. Let's go down here. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. He says the tight race for number one player in cornhole. I like it, Mike. We're going to award the cornhole champion here at the end of the month, of course, depending on who wins this little competition.
Hey, Peter, man, what's your cornhole?
Somber says, on that note, you'll have a good one. Tortilla says, I miss Tater. He says, I miss Tater. I do too, in a way. You know what? I had a different name from the other day, and I can't remember what it was. I was just thinking throughout the day. I was doing something, and I seen that, and I said, maybe we should start calling Tater this. So it must not have been so great or important. I missed it already. All right, I forgot it already. I'm sorry. Let's go to, good Lord, let's go to Just Learning, Ryan the Pimp. Also, Tortilla, take me back to Jesse James dropping the ball. He caught that ball.
Jesse would be dropping some balls on James's face.
Yeah, man. Tortilla says, I miss Claypool. Mike is tempted. You got to watch him. He got this ego where
time's a good time, brother.
He's like, oh, these people really like me.
You know what? I would be so easily like lured into a cult or something. You just treat me right. I'll be like, oh yeah, let's go in.
Like that one guy wanted Derpy to be his pleasure slave. Let's continue on. Let's go right here to Isaiah O'Kelly. I do want to say welcome to the board up. Welcome to the show, Isaiah. Isaiah says, what up from Tacoma?
What up, brother?
Glad to see you all the way from Tacoma. I hope you stick around for a while. Welcome to the show. Lindsay says Sasha's about to be pissed. You know what? Sasha wanted to get in on this as well. The thing is, I'm not exposing which webs. I mean, if you find it good, but I'm not going to expose it just because I don't want any horseplay. You know what I mean? I'm just, like Tortilla, just might decide to get on and do. You see what I'm saying? I want it to be
Tortilla
even.
probably already is signed up to all of them trying to track this shit.
Oh, possibly, but I want it to be as even filled as possible. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because there's somebody else is doing it. I would get on and mess with somebody. So again, I will disclose all that information eventually. But as of right now, I will send the pictures over to Mike that we used on the profiles here shortly.
But I do have to say, Lindsay, Sosh has nothing to worry about because I only have eyes for Sosh.
That's right. He's from Switzerland.
Hell yeah.
Let's go right here to Tyrone. Yinzer Joe, I saw your comment. By the way, you ain't slick. I'm not sure what that was, but I'm going to go right here to Yinzer Joe. Mike is thinking about Toe Jam now. Like there are a lot of different foot comments.
Dude.
I noticed a lot of these gay men on the site, they're into feet for whatever reason.
Hey, if this podcast endeavor fails, I guess I can go sell my feet online.
Now you can sell your feet.
Maybe I'll start doing that, and I can quit my day job.
All right, I like it.
You know what? This is giving me some ideas to make some money here.
Yinzer Joe says this. He says, Ryan, it's still no excuse to have a high-paid roster. All the sports leagues are skyrocketing in cap space and spending. I mean, here's the thing. It's the bullpen. I mean, if you were watching the games, Joe, it's the bullpen. They could easily have 10 more wins, but again, the bullpen is below average. Again, top 4 pitchers in the rotation could be 1 or 2s on other teams, and we have some bats added to the lineup. And we scored the fourth most runs in the league, believe it or not. So again, it's a part of this team. It's the bullpen. Every time when the bullpen comes around, it's a blown game, and it's embarrassing. But unfortunately, that's where we're at. Tortilla says, I'm more okay with Wemby not shaking hands and Fox acting nonchalant after making one of the dumbest mistakes in the NBA history and being the main reason they lost the chip. Let's go to Isaiah. Yeah, it's okay to say fuck you to us Washingtonians. We can be brutal sometime. Oh man, that's all good. I don't think anybody said fuck you to you. I didn't see it anyway. If they did, let me know. Let me know. We'll figure it out. Tyrone says, yes, sir. My lip much. Oh, good, dude. I'm glad to hear that, bro. Glad to hear that. Plus, it sucks having issues in the summer when it's hot. You know what I mean? If you have like a swollen sign, it just magnifies everything when it's hot. So glad you got that taken care of, dude. Tortilla says this. He says, Fox was my favorite as a Kings fan, but I'm glad he's getting exposed. Lindsay says this. You just want to rage bait me, Ryan, again with the thumbnail is what she's talking about. Mike makes the thumbnails. Give him hell.
Oh, wait, whoa. You never give me credit for anything unless it's take heat off of you.
Yes.
I've noticed that about
983 shows. You're getting this.
I'm slowly picking it up.
Tyrone says Tortilla still talking about Fox. Somber says always gay seeing Christine. Nice. Let's go here to Tortilla. Only thing the Kings have going for them is Fox struggling on his new team. Mark Malone says I lived with a cult for about a year once.
That tracks.
I'm having no problem believing that. But I do want to say welcome.
Yes.
To, the man, the myth, the mustache. Tyrone says my grandpa got me a Color Rush Claypool jersey a few months ago. I'm going to use it as a Pittman. Hey.
Hell yeah.
You see it at the stadium. You get down to Actors for Stadium on Sundays, you see people with tape over names. And this went even back before Kenny, so it wouldn't be anything odd, I don't think. Tortilla says, you know me too well. Just Learning says, it's all just horseplay. Yeah, until Mike gets hitched with one of these people, but that's why we're monitoring it. Lindsay says, I'm about to quit my job and sell feet picks too, Mike. There you go.
And then I'm going to turn around and sell those feet picks to someone else, and I'll retire. I'll quit my job too. It's going to be a good old system we got going on here.
Just Learning says, sell the whole package. What the hell? Indian Joe says, I'm selling toe jam, Mike. Are you Mike? Little toe jam for Earl over here. Tortilla says, rest his head on a pillow made of Khan's feet. Yeah. Christine says, what the hell, Somber? And then right here, Mark Malone says, it was a good time. Somber was quoting Ryan's mispronunciation. Yeah, I mean, pick one. I'm retarded. Let's continue getting into it, guys. It's time to talk some Pittsburgh Steelers. That's right. I have other things to talk about. I don't want to do it today, Mike. It's time to get into Steelers talk. Maybe tomorrow, the next day, perhaps the next day. I don't know. We'll figure it all out. A few things I'm going to get into. Here is, Mike. I really don't want to start on this. But we got to. I mean, I guess everybody's talking about it, so we're going to give a little bit of attention to it this morning. Everyone's talking about the TJ Watt contract, how it may be one of the worst in the NFL, Mike. We were talking about his the performance going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
31 years old. 2 years ago, Mike, he had 19. In 2023 season, he had 19 sacks. In 2024, he had 11 and a half sacks. And in 2025, he had 7 sacks, going down every single year. And, the question being, you mentioned it to myself in these particular words earlier, are we paying 2021 Watt? Are we paying 2021 Watt money to 2026 Watt? And is this going to be a problem for us? I think is what everybody's talking about this morning. So again, we'll touch base on it just because, but we have a lot to get into today, Mike. This contract, I do want to say what's up. Good morning to everybody that is walking in. Steelmatic Honda, everybody, welcome to the show. Glad to see you. Hope everybody had a great, safe weekend. It's bad. We're back. It's Monday to get through another week, Mike. A little bit on this, a little bit of your take here on TJ's contract. And again, I'm not going to hang on it too much today because I really don't want to be honest. Mike, your thoughts on what everyone's talking about TJ's contract, which we've been talking about for quite some time anyway, but now everybody's talking about it. So what's your take?
Like, the last 5 years in total, you look at the total picture, those stats are are elite numbers. I have a little breakdown here real quick. From 2021 to 2025, your top, and let me just give the top 4 guys. Myles Garrett played 83 games, had 83 sacks, 13 forced fumbles. TJ Watt, 73 games, 65 and a half sacks, 9.9 sacks a game, 19 forced fumbles. Mike Parsons, 77, 65 sacks, 11 forced fumbles. Then you get down to people like Trey Hendrickson and Danielle Hunter. So, like, in those last 5 years, him and Myles Garrett were fighting for who's one and who's two. Now, you look at the last 2 years, Watt's really not up there anymore. So, like, his production has dropped. I know we hate to use them, but they can be somewhat useful. PFF ranks, not the overall rankings, but how they fare with the amount of pressures he had. He only had 46 pressures. And that dropped down to like 36 out of 115 guys that they tracked. His run defense grade dropped when he used to be one of the best at it. So, like, the past 5 years and the total picture has been there, but that last year or the last year and a half hasn't been that great. Now, if we're getting this type of production, the 5-year production window, we're going to get out of the next 3 years, that would be awesome. If we get that, it might actually be a steal, a bargain of this contract. But the last couple of years, Watt has not been the elite guy. He's been putting up good veteran numbers, but we're paying for elite numbers. Now, I want his play to be more impactful, but if we were paying him less money, I think we'd be getting a bang for a buck out of him. It's just that we're paying him so much more. He's getting paid more now than like Myles Garrett. Just shattered his record, getting paid more than some of these younger guys that are putting up better numbers. If he was getting paid less, I wouldn't have a problem with the contract and his production. But we put them both together, that's when I get a little bit antsy, because now, like, we're not getting that bang for the buck like we used to. And it's like, we're paying 2026 Watt for 2021 memories right now is what it feels like. I like Watt as a player. I think he can still be effective. I think there's a role for him in this defense, and I hope he'll get back to what he once was. But right now, it's the bang for the buck. It's making it look like a bad contract. Now, if he can round back into the form what he was, the previous 3 years, I think we're going to get a steal and a bargain. And I'm excited to see what this new defense can do and this new system can do. But what are we going to get out of him? And it makes the contract a little iffy because just the past year and a half, it hasn't been the consistent Watt that we've seen. Now, if he can get back to that, this thing is a home run of a deal.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. As I said, Mike, I'm not going to go about it all day. We talk about this
all the time,
for a couple seasons anyway.
Yeah.
We've watched it play out real time. Not a whole bunch that's really surprising me. A lot of these things that are being said, obviously, just a year ago, these same people were saying how great the situation is with him, and he's setting records as far as the amount of money he's made. Mike, so I mean, this was just that far back, and now everybody again is starting to see what it is that we've been saying for a couple of years. Again, Mike, instead of just making up all the stupid shit they talk about for week after week, just talk about things like this, and I think people will start to give you a little bit more. So that's just my opinion. But there you go, guys. TJ Watt, the contract, Mike. Some people are calling it one of the worst contracts in the NFL. So there you go. Let's get back on the board. Lots going on today. I don't want to miss out on anybody. Let's jump right about here. Yeah, Yinzers says we got to get into the Steelers here, guys. We do got to. Steelmatic, my man Christine says they can't keep talking about it. It's only going to fuel him and make him better. I hope you're right. I hope he has the best season. Even if he don't break a sack record, I mean, even if he gets in the high teens, that's a huge improvement from what we've seen in the declining numbers over the past 3 years. And I think it's natural at 31 years old to see when you start to see a decline for consecutive years, 3-4 years. I think it's common sense. You have to look into it and question what's going on. But this is what's going on with him right now, Mike. A lot of people are talking. But again, if he comes out and puts up 18 sacks, nobody's complaining. It's 18 sacks, some tackles in the backfield, some forced fumbles, some fumble recoveries, an interception when you're least expecting it. Nobody's going to be saying anything. So it comes down to production with TJ Watt. If you want people to stop talking, you gotta earn your money. That's at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. So go earn the money that you're being paid to play, and people will stop talking. I swear, because Mike, just 4 years ago 5 years ago when he was winning this record, everyone loved him.
Yeah, and go back 2 years ago on this show, me banging the table defending TJ Watt because he
Yeah,
was producing at that time,
he
and now that
was.
he's not, I'm holding him accountable.
Let's get down here to Yinzer Joe. He says whoever does better out of Highsmith and TJ will be traded next year for draft comp, very possibly. Lindsay said he was injured. Yeah, he was. He was. And you know what? The years he was injured, I'm going to give him credit. I'll talk about that actually more at the end of later in the show. Tyrone says the 42 cap hits. The 42 cap hit is the this year's. So a lot is riding on this season. Absolutely. Christine says, well, they did puncture as long as to consider. I mean, that was freakish. Okay, take the last two games
Yeah,
of the year out, but again, I think everybody can agree that you're paying somebody more money than anybody else on the entire team. So you would like to see less of a decline year after year after year. That's what everyone's talking about. I mean, are we going to get the same results that we were getting when we decided to pay him this huge contract? So at the end of the day, let's continue on. Let's go right here to Lindsay. Lindsay says this. She says, Tyrone, no, we don't need your opinion right now. Don't feel it. Yinzer Joe says, and if JPJ doesn't sign the chips and peanut butter contract, Con will trade him too. I'm hearing this, Joe. What am I seeing here? I had somewhere, Mike, that they were talking that they're speculating that JPJ's contract, when it does happen, it's going to reset the whole cornerback market. I mean, if it ends up going the way that it's probably going to go, and it should go,
yeah,
he's going to make a lot of money.
and it probably should. He's playing at an elite level. He's playing at an arguably top 3 level, and those guys tend to reset the market, and that's why we want to get him done before the other rookies that were drafted in his class start getting their contracts, so we don't have to play catch up the way we did with the Watt contract when Miles got his, and had to have that Penny Moore BS argument. You get him locked up now to where it's going to be a bargain once he's truly in his prime, and get it done now.
I think the only argument really should be is, dude, go out and get it. You got to go out and get it done. Go out and do the things that earned you that money. If not, we're getting inferior play and we're paying out premier money. Again, I just think as a human being, that's a natural concern. Not so much of an individual, just in concept. I think that's a no-brainer. Let's continue right here. Tyrone says, hey, I was on your side, loser. Going back at Lindsay there. Tortilla says, Rooney has a time machine. Rooney has a time machine. Tyrone says, Yinzer Joe, you don't even believe that. Let's go to Christine. Christine says, this cap is only going to get bigger. That's not even an issue everybody's making it to be. I think we see what happens this season. Absolutely. And as I said, do better than you did in any of the past 3 seasons. Okay, minus the 2 games that he got a punctured lung. I understand that. Let's talk about the games where he did play, and let's So again, if he gets back to that level, there's no problems. I have no problem.
Yeah.
And the only reason that we have been having this conversation, you and I, Mike, is because of the decline in the numbers every year. So again, I don't think that we're picking on him. I think that we're taking a naturally a natural concern in just talking about it. That's all.
Yeah, go. Him to do well. He's one of my favorite players. He's up there with one of the most exciting Steelers players I've seen. With people like Rod Woodson and Troy Polamalu. I want him to do well. That's why I'm holding his feet to the fire, man.
Absolutely. Let's go right here to Tyrone. Mark got a hold of you. It's okay. TJ Fox Tortilla says, let's go right here to Lindsay. He says, if he sucks, he can retire next year. I highly disagree with it being one of the worst. And you know what? At the end of the day, Lindsay, like I was saying, just go out and perform. Be the top player that you're getting paid to be, and there won't be any problems. See, I mean, that's all I'm saying. Let's go to Tyrone. I want TJ 15 or more sacks. Would be awesome. I mean, if you're getting paid, again, we do this all the time. And I didn't really even want to get into TJ too much today, but go out and earn that money. That's all. I don't think that's too much to ask. Let's go here to Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says, honestly, I think JPJ really isn't worth a big contract. He's only gotten better at tackles, not interceptions. I think the refs just got tired of calling pass interference.
Well, hey, man, that means he could keep holding.
Yeah. Let's go to Lindsay. She says, I don't agree with the well, I mean, if you look at his numbers, there is a decline every year. It's going down. So um I'm sorry. Let me continue. Either you were not talking into account his injuries. Also, he made 25 last year, not 41. I'm just talking about his numbers. Look at his sack numbers. The last three, I can tell you what they are, as a matter of fact. His last 3 years in sacks. Okay, here we go, Mike. 2023, he had 19. In 2023, 19. That's great. We like that. In 2024, 11 and a half. In 2025, 7. So I mean, even if you take the 2 games off or whatever it was for the, it's a decline.
And he put himself in that situation by wanting himself to get that needle treatment. Like, it's not like the team forced him to do this. He went out on his own and wanted this treatment done to him. There's a part of, a personal accountability on his part to put himself in that situation. And like we talk about all the time around the show, the best ability is availability, and he made himself not available down the stretch. DK Metcalf made himself not available down the stretch. Both of those guys, by making personal decisions that ended up backfiring and hurting the team. Yes, there are 2 different circumstances, but yet they both made those conscious decisions to do what they did, and they ended up having negative effects on the team. We can't discount what they did as well. Like, I can't say this enough. I want Watt to do well. He's one of my favorite players. That's what I think is.
I'm
not hating on the guy. I'm just.
This is what I think is getting confused, Mike. I think when people, again, I think we're speaking very logically of the situation. I do. I think we're being very fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I just read you the decline in his numbers, and these are what people are paying attention to, is the sack numbers. And again, to some point, maybe some people don't have facts, they don't have numbers, they don't have information, but we are being fair. Again, if your play declines, then you start questioning these things. I don't think that's too out of pocket, to be honest with you. Let's continue on, though. Let's go on the board. Christine says, in fact, the Steelers about killed him. So they're lucky he's not suing them for, well, again, as I come back, I don't know. With this poking in the lung, I mean, I don't know what the hell would even happen. Because again, Mike, you just said it was a personal decision he made.
Yeah, he wanted these treatments, and they did it at the team facility,
because they're not running around poking everybody with these needles. So
it's become the new in vogue thing now with these like deep tissue needle type shit. And hey, you make the conscious decision to do this, and any type of medical treatment like that, there could be adverse side effects.
Let's continue on. Lots going on the board here. I do want to say what's up to Tater. Everybody was missing Tater a little bit earlier. I do want to say what's up to Tater all the way from Northern Ireland. What's up, Tater? Great seeing the new 49er fan in the house. Also, Tyrone says, Lindsay, they didn't say 4 years. They said a year and a half. Let's continue down here. Mark Malone, without Tomlin's albatross, I would look for about 17. You know what? And again, fantastic. We will cheer. We'll root him on, and I will start fighting for him. But again, he's got to do his part. Let's continue down here. Lindsay says, rewind it. Go check it out. Also, Tyrone says, where? Mark Malone, JPJ absolutely will get money elsewhere. You know what, Mark? I was reading something where Keanu Benton might be getting a big payday elsewhere. So if he doesn't get his contract figured out this year, Mike, perhaps JPJ does get it figured out. Maybe Benton doesn't, and he gets his big contract somewhere next year.
I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with Benton getting his contract elsewhere.
Something to keep in mind, as we keep saying, what are we going to do with JPJ? How are we going to take care of this money? How are we going to do this? At the end of the day, it's not out of the question, Mike, because I would certainly keep JPJ hands down before I would keep Keanu Benton and give him money. So let's continue on the board. Let's go right here to Lindsay. I don't know, but listen, Tortilla, what's good, Tater? Probably in Miami, Mark Malone is saying. Tyrone, shut up, Mark. Marky Mark. Let's go right here to Yinzer Joe. JPJ only has his prime going for him, and he was only really good this past season. I'm not down with resetting the market for him when we have other areas to upgrade. You know what, Joe, though, in my I do have this question, though. Is his never letting up a touchdown in 3 seasons? I mean, that's bigger than interceptions if you think about it. His tackling did get better, as we always say, as you mentioned on the board. The penalties got better, as we always say, and you mentioned on the board. But at the end of the day, all these other guys who has interceptions have given up touchdowns. So I would rather not give up touchdowns than worry about this individual accolade. If he doesn't let up any touchdowns, I think that's okay if he doesn't have that many interceptions.
Yeah. He's like the best cornerback on third downs, one of the best corners in zone, one of the best corners in man's, going by like completion percentage, coverage grades. My God, quarterback ratings and QBR ratings against. Statistically, outside of interceptions, where people want to harp on interceptions, Sauce Gardner, people would say, is one of the best in the league. Joey Porter Jr. had the same amount of interceptions last year as Sauce Gardner. No one talks about the lack of interceptions with Sauce, but they do with the JPJ. Looking at the stats, looking at it logically, looking at it analytically, Joey Porter Jr. is easily one of the top 5 corners in the NFL. Now, you can say, hey, I don't think we should pay a corner on this team top money because we want to spend money on edge rushers and defensive linemen or inside backers or tight ends and shit like that. That's a completely different argument than saying he doesn't deserve that type of money. I'm sorry. Like, the stats show he does deserve that money.
And the one thing that you can't get past is he's never let up a touchdown. This to me is
I'd rather have a guy give up 0 touchdowns his entire career and have 0 interceptions than a guy give up a shit ton of touchdowns and have a shit ton of interceptions. Kind of like the corner down in Dallas.
What do you want? Do you want to succeed, or do you want the guy to be a team player, or do you want him to be more of an individual stat chaser? Again, I think the fact he hasn't let up a touchdown in 3 seasons is the best reason to pay him. But that's just me, Mike. And again, let's go to the next question here. Mark Malone says, "Are we going to get Benton done before camp?" Again, he possibly, he might not even get it done. And I don't know if there's going to be a whole lot of people fighting for him. It's not TJ. It's not JPJ. It's Benton. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, Mike, it wouldn't surprise me if, again, somebody else gets him next year and gives him a lot of money.
Yeah, I could see there being a decent market for Keanu Benton. Just by the way, you look at the tape, there's a lot of stuff there for him. But like we keep saying, it's like he's got to finish more. But coaches will see what his tape and be like, we can have a role for him and he can make a decent amount of money. It's a more or less like a pass rushing D tackle type prospect in the true 4-3. So there's a market for him. So I'm not concerned about signing him because I think you can find Benton's replacement in the draft next year.
I think you got Benton's replacement on the team right now. I honestly do, Mike. I think we have some people on our defensive line, some young guys that might be able to make some things happen. And again, Benton was a slow project. He started off slow. His numbers weren't great. He was getting to the play. He wasn't making the play. Everything that we talk about year after year. But let's get back on the board. Tyrone said Yinzers have never given up a touch. He's never given up a touchdown in his career. He had a below average rookie year. Second year, he was above average. And last year, he was elite. Laugh my ass off. Quarterback, tackle, cornerback are the most important positions. Let's go also here to Tortilla. Tortilla says, I hope so. Tyrone follows it up with saying he's getting paid this TJ talk. Keep 24 out of it. Christine says this. She says, and don't underestimate what he adds to the locker room and the chemistry of this team, because if you don't have chemistry, you will never win a chip. I agree with you 100%. I'm big on team chemistry and things like that.
Hey, we haven't won a playoff game with him. We can not win a playoff game without him.
Interesting. He's never been on a playoff winning team.
I love TJ Watt, but let's be honest. He's never been a part of a winning team. I'm not saying it's all his fault. Just saying. And I like Watt.
Mark Malone should be
everything I say about Watt by I like Watt, so no one forgets that I like Watt.
I mean, see, that's kind of where I think the message keeps getting lost.
It's like I don't hate him.
I think that people are just taking honest criticism and making it out to be hate, but it's not. Let's continue on. Mark Malone says, to be fair, that dry needling is super common. Lindsay says this. What about his other stats? Not just sacks. He didn't ask to get his lung punctured by an incompetent person. I don't know if I went and looked at the rest of his numbers. I'm sure they would match what I'm seeing with the sacks. I don't have it in front of me, unfortunately, but I can. Let's go right here. Mark Malone says hitting along is not LOL. Tortilla, we don't pay bro to breathe. Let's go down here to Christine. Christine says, well, just like anybody, he trusted the doctors in this app. All right, to take the 2 games out or whatever it was, I'm fine with that. Nobody's making that argument. Nobody's saying, you know what, he should have played those 2 games that he got punctured. Okay, he got punctured in the lung. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's not that particular big of a deal, those 2 games. I don't know why that's continuing to be brought up. Let's continue right here. Christine, she said he trusted the dog. Okay, we did get that one. And just like anybody he trusted. Okay, gotcha. For show. Tyrone, 2023, he had 19. When TJ started going down was last 5 games. In 2024, when he had a decent year, 2025, but wasn't the TJ we know. Did have the lung issue, missed 3 games. The cap hit this year, so we'll see. Yeah, so I mean, again, I'm not harping on the guy. I'm not giving him a hard time. I'm just simply saying, go play what you're getting paid. That's all. That's the only request I have. That's the only thing I have, and it's not even an issue. That's just me saying forward, go do what you do, and everybody will be happy. Yinzer Joe says this: Tyrone Porter has only played 3 seasons, and he did give up a touchdown in week 8 of his rookie year, but the penalties were outrageous on him. Christine says, Mark Malone, yeah, apparently it's a common thing. They all do. It was no different than medical malpractice. And he should sue him. What's the problem? Sue him. Let me go down. Somber says this: fuck, I hate watching the shit on my phone. Ads can fuck off. I'm outside fixing my water heater. All of a sudden, I hear dance. I hate that shit too. Ugh. And I don't even know why mine still does it. I paid to not have the commercials, and I'm here doing work, and I step away for 5 minutes, and
an ad popped up during the live stream.
Not for me.
If it did for you guys, let me know. I know YouTube has changed some of the monetization stuff, so I don't know if I have to go back through and check it before each stream. So if I have to, let me know. It won't happen again if it happened today.
Tyrone, Yinzer Joe, no, he didn't. LOL. That was Lays got burnt. He was in zone and had to chase him, but stop. Wasn't even his man. Please do better. Mark Maloney says this: I don't know how they went that deep. LOL. KZ. Tyrone is saying. Christine says none of these top cornerbacks have very many interceptions at all. They really don't. I mean, look at Christian Gonzalez, or I mean, they're not killing it in interceptions. Lindsay, I just want to know if we got a soft ass player like Garrett would have came back after, or would a soft ass player like Garrett have come back after a punctured lung? I agree, but at the end of the day, he's putting up the production. He had like 4 or 5 sacks in a game the one day last year. So again, I just want to see the play that equals the pay. That's all. I don't think that is being too unfair. Yeah. I mean, if I paid you, Mike, to help me move my furniture, and I paid you $10, I wouldn't expect the greatest job from you. But if I paid you $500, I'd expect there not to be a scratch on my wall, a scratch on my furniture. I would hold you to that standard because I paid you more, and I hope that you would, you would do a better job. So again, that's all it is for me. It's not an argument. I'm not hating on Watt at all. I just want him to play up to his pay. That's why they pay you the most money. So
yeah, he had like 3 forced fumbles, 2 picks last year, and then 2 fumble recoveries. That's good production there. The sacks that's what we're paying him for. Those dropped considerably. Tackles for loss dropped from 19 the past few years down to 10. So he's really not getting into the backfield. And everyone's favorite pass rush win rate. The better part of the last 4 years, he's was averaging around like 23%. Last year, he did not qualify for like the top 20 in pass rush win rate. It was like even below the top tier cutoff. It was bad how he was not winning against the double teams like he used to. So he can't even beat double teams like he used to. But, he's doing those little things like the forced fumbles, the interceptions, the fumble recoveries. Those are good.
And I love it. Believe me, when he slammed Caleb Williams down in the end zone for a safety pressure, I thought, this guy's earning his money. There it is, right there. And I get up just like the rest of these guys do on a Sunday afternoon. And just more of the big game, the game-breaking plays. I mean, this is what he did to earn that contract, punching balls out in the time of need. The game's on the line at the end of the game. Who strips the ball and recovers it? TJ Watt.
Yeah.
That's all. I just want to see more
So
of the magic. I just want to
yeah.
see more, Mike, of why he's getting paid that amount of money. That's all.
Yeah, I'm okay if the sacks go down, but I want to see those other things go up, like the forced fumbles go up, interceptions go up, drop back in coverage more. I like when he does that because teams aren't expecting it.
Right.
He might not always get the interception or break
Maybe
the
under
play
the
up,
new team, Mike.
but it forces the you know the quarterback to like hesitate for a second. That could allow a sack. That could allow for an incompletion because that split second of second guessing. Like we see older players in the NFL and other sports too. Once like their main thing goes, they start focusing on those second and third and tertiary traits that they have. I think that's what Watt needs to do now in this final chapter of his career. Not worry so much about sacks, but like the other things, the tackles for losses, forcing fumbles, little things like that that can swing the game. And then if you do that, those sacks will eventually come because teams might not start chipping your way, sliding the line your way. Next thing you know, you're getting more favorable one-on-one matchups. You're blitzing from different places now, and those numbers can go up while the other things like the forced fumbles, fumble recoveries, tackle for losses go up. There's a ways to get him back, those sack numbers back up, but if they don't, I want to see those other numbers go up the way you see other athletes do when their main source goes away. You see them become something else, like goal scorers tend to become playmakers now. I want to see Watt be that kind of guy. Like I'm not getting the sacks, but I'm going to do everything else.
All right, so we are an hour in, Mike. I always do want to make it a point to tell you an hour in, today's trivia question will be a TJ Watt question. So I just throwing that out there, guys, so you can prepare. Let's get back on the board, Mike, because again, we have a lot to get into here. Mark Malone turned Watt into Lunger Watt. Also, Tyrone said in the flags, most of them was BS refs, just soft as fuck. Also, Christine said I would argue he is 100% the best man corner in the NFL. It's hard to argue that
he's damn near up
his
there.
performance is what's talking. This is what I'm talking about with TJ. What he needs to get back to where his performance, you got to prove it. It's a show me league, and if not, there's thousands of kids behind you that are willing to at least try to take your spot. So again, you got to walk the walk. Let's continue on right here. He's the best. Christine is what Tyrone is saying. Christine says 100% Lindsay. Ty says, listen up, Yinzer, Joe, and Mark. Christine agree 100% Ryan and Mike Tortilla. Mark said JPJ can't spend the night. Let's go here to the original OG, Yinzer Joe. He says, killing me, Tyrone. It is a static mark on Porter's career. Unfortunately, he's a big penalty guy. Then the defense collapsed and gives up a TD thanks to Porter's penalty. Let's go here to Mark Malone. I really think we can get first and some change for him. Christine says they need to keep betting. Mark Malone, he says this hell of a return on your investment for a second round pick. Mike Tomlin in the house. Always great seeing Coach. Coach says me and Joey Porter got beef. Me and JPJ got beef. Tyrone, I'm sorry I missed this. He says, Yinzer Joe, you need a tissue. Stop worrying about JPJ. Mark Malone is saying this. He's saying Benton Harmon are the future defensive tackle. I mean, Harmon is a big part of the future. And again, just the way this plays out, there's certain guys you extend, and then there's guys you don't. I mean, the fact of the matter is you'd love to extend every single guy that you draft. But at the end of the day, Mike, I mean, we've signed everybody. We signed Washington big. We signed Herbig big. And when JPJ gets his big payday, Mike, I think that Benton's going to be the odd man out. I really do. I'm thinking, as I said, if it doesn't happen and he gets his contract here, that's one thing, Mike. But I'm saying it's definitely a possibility for him to be going somewhere in 2027 to get that big contract. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the thing is, like, they're handing out all these big contracts. Like, for me, I would have prioritized Porter, save money for next year to get Frazier and Fatano, because I'm not paying my quarterback right now, but I want my center who's controlling that line. I want my left tackle, and I want my corner. The two of the three most important players in the league now, in all of football, no matter what era, is your corners, your tackles, and your quarterback. And paying Washington. I love Washington, but you're paying him, you're paying Freiermuth a shit ton of money. Now you're paying Herbig a shit ton of money, along with Highsmith and Watt. Like, I think we're gonna see some of these excellent offensive linemen leave, and now we're gonna have to rebuild that O line again through the draft. It's just like I love that we're keeping these guys, but we can't keep everyone, and it's going to be some tough decisions coming up. But this is also showing we are excellent at drafting. If we have a lot of guys that you would want to keep, it's a good sign.
Let's turn the page. Let's get some other stuff here, Mike. You did bring up a few names that you just mentioned, Frazier, Fatanu. Now, I give very little to this, but I do like to talk about it when I see Mike. PFF's 9 highest graded Steelers on the offensive side of the football last year, Mike. Let's start with Jalen Warren, number 1, highest rated player according to PFF for the Steelers offense with an 81. An 81. Cook, Mike, is coming in second with a 77.4. Third is Connor Hayward at a 74.3. Number 4, the 4th highest PFF rated offensive player for the Steelers last season, Mike, was, of course, Frazier. He came in with a 73.8. And number 5, following him, Mike, was Siamalu. He had 73.3. McCormick finished with 72.9 according to PFF. Kenneth Gainwell surprisingly finished below Dylan Cook, Mike. Kenneth, this is why I love PFF because they're so fucking retarded. KG Mike had a 72.6 according to PFF, and remember Dylan Cook 77.4. So consider the source. Mike, also DK Metcalf comes in at number 8 with a 71.1, and then finally at the number 9, the top spot or the last spot they gave us from the offensive players last year, Darnell Washington, even lower than everybody else, Mike, with a 71. So there you go. As you're looking up your PFF numbers, just consider this kind of information because at the end of the day, I mean, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, this is why PFF has useful information. And then information that makes you want to just put your head through a window. And this is stuff that makes you want to put your head through a window. Like now I like how they track stuff like win rates and shit like that. And some advanced analytics stuff like third down completion percentage against and shit like that. The nitty gritty stuff I like. This right here, the grades make no sense. Because like you said, how Kenny G, how he was not our highest rated offensive player is beyond me. How Zach Frazier was rated that low is beyond me. How Dylan Cook was rated that high is beyond me because that man had a lot of help in every game that he played by putting Darnell Washington over there and whoever our 6th offensive lineman was at the time they would put over there. So yeah, these grades are very, very, very subjective.
Let's continue on the board there. Let's go right here. Dude, always great to see Mark Malone. I'm sorry. Sante Samuel Jr. and Everett are the future outside corners. You know what? We're certainly going to get a better look at them because you got to remember we didn't get a full season look at ASJ. He came in after the injury, the neck, and then also Everett again with a rookie. So we'll be certainly paying attention to these guys come camp for sure and in the preseason. I do want to say what's up to Dude. JD in the house. Always great seeing Dude. He says, afternoon, fellas. Afternoon, my man. Hope things went good for you this weekend. Tyrone, Mark ASG won't be here next year. And again, with that injury, we might have to keep a really close eye. Mm-hmm. Not many players have came back from this injury, Mike, and had a successful career after. So again, the neck fusion, of course, it's a big one. So again, certainly something we'll be keeping an eye on. Tyrone says he will never even start this year. LOL. Mark Malone, if we trade JPJ, he will. Tyrone says that's not happening. So he ain't starting. He's a bench warmer. Tortilla. We trade JPJ. We gay. Mark Malone says that's possible. Tyrone says not at all. They would have by now laughed my ass off. Stick to the TJ. Talk Mark. Yinzer Joe says ads are popping up in Mike. Mike.
All right, I'll take a look to see what happens because I know they change stuff to where if I don't go in and change it beforehand or set it up to where it stays like that, it will happen for an episode. So I'll go in and double check all that. They send me emails and alerts all the time. Sometimes they slip through the cracks. So my bad, boys. I apologize.
Keep us posted on that, guys.
Yeah, because I don't want to interrupt the stream with ads.
Let's go to right here to Christine. Christine says, yeah, ads keep popping up on mine too.
I thought it was it might be something on our end that I can't fix today, so bear with us. It's something I probably have to go through and dig through settings to make it universal.
Myself. I'm right there with you guys.
Yep. Sorry, boys.
Mark Malone saying it was possible. ASG rides the bench at Tyrone. Lindsay, Christian Gonzalez said JPJ, not top 5. I wonder where he puts himself.
All right.
Let's go to Tyrone, or he will. I bet Everett plays more than him. Tortilla says this: we trade JPJ for the entire state of Texas. Tyrone, where you see that at, Lindsay, stop lying like, Lindsay says JPJ is not on the list. Speak no lies. Tortilla says, yeah, we know it's not on the Epstein list. Speaking of Corey, I haven't seen Corey stop in today. I just watched his videos on his Disclosed, the Alien movie the other day, and he did a really good job. Go check it out if that does pique your interest at all. Let's go right here to Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says, probably depends, Ryan. Do you want a professional mover? But you get the point, though. You know, if I'm paying my manager $25 an hour, I want him to not mess around like the kid that's making $11 an hour. You know what I mean? I expect higher. You know, you're paying him more, so you expect more. Again, I don't think that that's an unfair way to look at things.
Like my whole thing is, like, this is Pittsburgh. We tend to hold our best to the highest standards because we have a history of success and a history of the best being the best. And you don't hit that standard, you're going to get called out for it. We did it with Ben. We did it with Bettis when he almost fumbled away a Super Bowl. You know, we did it with Cowher. We did it with Tomlin. We did it with Noel. We did it with me and Joe Green. Hell, we did it with Mario Lemieux, Sidney Crosby. We do it with all of the greats here. Why is TJ Watt exempt from that list?
All right, let's do a move.
He's part of that.
Mike had his coffee, I could tell. Each comment's warranting a 15-minute response, and this is just it's not going to work, Mike. You got to chill, man. You got to chill. I mean, we could do this till 9 o'clock tonight. I'm fine doing it. I just know that you probably don't want to.
Yeah, I got shit to do. I'm sorry, everyone. Right. I'm excitable.
Stick to TJ Talk. Tyrone says, Tortilla says Tyrone did a TED Talk about paying JPJ. Tyrone did a TED Talk about paying JPJ. Lindsay says, send in the GC, call me a liar again. Damn. Mark Malone says TJ's contract was the beginning of a chain of events that will lead to not paying JPJ is what he's saying. Tortilla says you can't out pizza the Hut, Mark. A few things as we do get ready to move along here a little bit more on the show, Mike. We do have some more things we're going to talk about. We talked about Hakeem Butler. He was the MVP again in the UFL. Mm-hmm. Of course, they just wrapped up their season over the weekend with a big Louisville championship win over DC, Mike. Hakeem Butler is being signed with the Denver Broncos. He was, of course, here with the Steelers for a tiny bit. Yeah. Back to the UFL, having great success. Again, 2 MVP awards for Hakeem Butler. Mike, he is on his way to Denver.
I hope he can stick around because, my God, the guy has talent, but the talent disparity between the UFL and the NFL might be too big of a gap for him because there he's a superstar, here fringe player. But I hope he makes it, man, because dude's been working hard. You got to love rooting for people like him.
I got a couple big things coming up here down the pike, guys. Do stick around. I'm going to read some more messages first. Christine says the original, he only had 9 penalties for like 56 yards last season. Most starting cornerbacks had more or the same as him. No, his penalties got a lot better. Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. Tyrone says this: he was on point, but he put Horn over JPJ. That's funny. Let's continue down here, guys. Again, I got a couple of things that I think you're going to like here shortly. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. Trade JPJ. Tortilla says, yo mother. Bing bong. Let's go here to PFF is a joke. Tyrone, I couldn't agree with you more. I believe me, I'm the number one advocate against against PFF. I think they're so fucking bad. Again, it's fun to use it when it works in your favor because again, they can make stuff look really good for you. But then again, if you can consistently watch them, it's bad. They're really bad. A lot of stuff doesn't even make sense. Lindsay says the cap goes up every year. It sure does. Christine says this about time the Steelers start spending money. Money is not going to be an issue in either is the cap. Plus, they are saving by only having 5 bathroom stalls, so it all works out. Hey, you know what? You're not wrong. You know, if they had more bathrooms, they would be certainly paying more in the utilities, I would guess. Let's continue down here a little bit. Christine follows it up by saying that I don't have to pay for Slay's medical staff anymore, so it pays for itself. Christopher and Latrobe, he says this. He says, I will be focused on the battle for nose tackle between Sebastian Joseph Day and Y.A. Black. Me too, my friend. This is something that I am certainly intrigued with is this group of men playing in the middle of this defensive line because you know what? This is where we have to see success. Mike, I have a little theory here. Remember last year, just talking about this defense, talking about the middle of the defense, do you think, because last offseason, this is going to be an elite defense, this is going to be a record, this defense is going to do things that you've never seen before? Mike, here's the difference of what I think is what would happen then and what we're going to see moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to get all these players and just say, you know what, let's put together a little game plan. These guys, we have top niche names in this defense. We have TJ Watt. We have Jalen Ramsey. We have the blah, 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 blah. But, Mike, it's more than just having a group of names.
Yeah.
I think if the defense comes out and plays the way that they're being portrayed as being participating so far in all the practices and just going out and really executing, I think this defense certainly has a chance to be a top-tier defense in this league. I truly, honestly do. It seemed to me, Mike, under the Terrell Austin defense, it was more of a, again, say what you want, but at the end of the day, I don't think they were getting the most out of their players, and they weren't putting their players in the best positions to win. So I think that this defense might basically the same as last year. I mean, obviously, you have the overhaul in the defensive backfield, but for the most part, your linebackers are all the same. Your linemen are about the same. I think you could get a lot better results out of this because it seemed to me that Austin and company thought, you know what, we have the guys, so it's going to get done. And the guys believe that. Hey, look at us. We got me, Joey Porter-Slay, and Jalen Ramsey. That was the big talk last year, this three-headed monster. And guess what? It fell to shit because Slay fell to shit. Jalen Ramsey eventually got moved on to different things. So, again, at the end of the day, Mike, it comes down to execution. I think that if this coaching staff is doing what we're being told that this coaching staff is doing, I think this defense makes leaps and bounds better than it was last year, because now you're talking about, different, it's a philosophy, difference in preparation, difference in scheme. I think these are going to be the things that makes it different for this defense this year. And I think you're going to see the results this year, where last year they were kind of just expected. Because, again, you bring over Darius Slay, the guy just won a Super Bowl. You bring over Jalen Ramsey. He's been one of the best in the league. You bring over, it was expected. And, again, I don't think that there was much strategy under the Terrell Austin defense that allowed these guys to be successful. So these, Mike, are the reasons I think that this is going to be different with this new coaching staff, this new defensive coordinator, and everything like it. I am very excited to see what this coaching staff and what this defense can do with what we have.
Oh, this is like one of the most exciting off seasons I've seen, especially for what this defense can do. Because, like you said, last year we were thinking historical defense. A historically overrated defense. Now the moves that they have made this year have been so much better.
Teams that have historically good defenses doesn't give up a 250-yard rushing game at home to the Bills. It
does not happen. I'm loving this. Jamal Dean. People might say, "Oh, that's similar to Slay. He's getting older." This dude just came off a Pro Bowl year, and he's coming into a system or a scheme that fits him perfectly. Whereas Slay and Pat Pete, we were wanting those guys to play a lot of man when they should have been playing a whole hell of a lot of zone. Now we're getting these guys that fit the scheme, not just the name, but they're fitting the scheme. And that's what I'm loving about this. There's still some pieces we can work on. Day's an upgrade at nose tackle when we run a 3-4, which probably ain't going to be a whole hell of a lot. But he's someone in there who can eat up blockers in the middle. I just want to see maybe a slight little upgrade inside backer, but there's time for training camp. But I'm also willing to, let's see what the new coaches staff has to where they can use these guys, and maybe that's all we needed was a scheme change.
Christopher, I can't wait to see you in Latrobe. I know that Steele's coming up. What about you, Ty? Are you making the trek over for camp? I know that even Christine mentioned she might make the trek. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Next month, we do have on July 28th, the guys will be reporting to camp as July 29th. The actual training camp starts. So that is all just a little over a month away, guys. It is June 15th. So it's not going to be long now. We do have, again, Mike McCarthy's rookie school that is going on today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. The rookies stayed behind to work on the south side as everybody else left. And then again, Mike, July 28th, they start showing up at Latrobe. On the 29th, they do start camp. Let's go to JPJ, got all my ads covered. Let's go to Mark Malone, been boozing on the job again. Tyrone says, Chris, we have some great camp battles. quarterback 2, wide receiver 3 through 6, cornerback 3 through 6, nose tackle, and right offensive line. This is going to be, again, there's not going to be any fall off when you get to camp. There's not going to be any fall off when we get to preseason, Mike, because this offseason has just been so freaking busy in every way. And again, at the end of the day, I'm watching our team and I'm watching the way other teams are managing, and we've certainly put our due diligence in this offseason. So hopefully it pays off for us, and we could certainly take advantage this year, Mike. In preseason and then also in camp, we will certainly be paying attention to a lot of these things that Tyrone's talking about, of course. Somber says this trademark for that Spurs fan who took on the entire Knicks stadium. Let's go here to Tyrone. JPJ better get better than Gonzo, so it's all good in the hood. Tortilla says, what you drinking, Mark? What are you drinking, man? What are you drinking? Tyrone says, trademark, we don't claim him. Tortilla says Mark is our Connor Hayward.
Oh,
Mark Malone's our meatwad. Let's go to Mark Malone. He says damn near got that pudgy over the winter. Let's go here to Christophus. He says if we get push up the middle or edge rushers will. I agree. There's just so many things that need to be taken care of for other things to happen, and I couldn't agree more. So again, let's hope the new coaching staff is able to put it together this year. Let's go here to Tyrone. Mark is our slay of a fan, only half a season worth. It's getting heated. Lindsay says, I don't know about that. Mark Malone says, psh. Tortilla says, we can trade Mark. We can't trade Mark. It's too valuable on offense. Very offensive, Mark can be. So, Mike, we do like his offensive abilities.
Yes, we do.
Lindsay says, look up Gonzalez's stats versus JPJ. Tyrone's checking that out. Lindsay says, rankings are nowhere near one another. Tortilla says, who's Gonzalez daddy, though? Let's go here to Tyrone. Tyrone says, JPJ 25 stats, 35 solo tackles, some amount of assist, I can't tell. 1 sack, 14 pass deflections, 0 touchdowns. Lindsay says, I hope he gets paid, though. He deserves it. I think most players deserve their money. I do, too. Hey, there's just different tiers of money, though. Yeah. You know what I mean? You gotta play to a level if you're getting paid to a level. And again, I'm not picking at TJ. I'm just simply stating. That's all.
Here we go. I have a breakdown of JPJ and Christian Gonzalez stats.
Okay.
PFF grades. Overall, JPJ 67.6. Gonzalez 65.8. Now to the real stuff. Receptions allowed. JPJ 29, Gonzalez 35. Passer rating allowed. Porter 56, Gonzalez 64. Yards per completion 10.3 to 10.2. Gonzalez barely. Pass breakups JPJ 11 to 7. Interceptions 1 to 0. JPJ. Tackles, Gonzalez has some there, and that's about it. Gonzalez is better than JPJ.
All right, let's continue on. Let's go a few more things, Mike, and I'm going to get into a couple new topics here. JPJ 36, Gonzalez is ranked 6 is what Lindsay's saying. Also, Tyrone passing rating is 56.2, ranked second. Forced incomplete 35.3, ranked second. Lindsay says, I'm not arguing. I don't care enough. He's not better, in my opinion, but I hope JPJ gets paid. He deserves it. Let me grab Christine real quick, and then we're going to jump on a couple other topics I think that you might like, guys. Let's go to right here. Christine says, 100% bad scheme. Terrell Austin, diabolical, and everyone will see what happens when you have great depth and have people in the right positions to succeed like Benton. I couldn't agree with you more, Christine. I couldn't agree with you more. Where did I listen to this? This is about offense. I'm going to take I'll get back to that in just 1 minute. Tater says, interesting. Guys, I have something here. It's going to come back over to offense, but you're going to kind of see how it all bleeds together, what we're talking about. Here come just on my pop-ups on the side of my screen. Google Chrome, Steelers 5 worst contracts for 2026, and it has number 90 right in the picture. Popping up on my screen. Let's go here, Mike. Let me ask you this. What if Coach McCarthy coaches this team up well enough and changes things around to win a Coach of the Year?
Oof.
What kind of heat do you think that will bring to Pittsburgh amongst the fans, considering Mike Tomlin never won a Coach of the Year award? Mike McCarthy changes this thing around. And Mike McCarthy could, and if he grabs a Coach of the Year award, what does that do to the fan base?
It should excite you for what's to come with Mike McCarthy.
Well, it
And there,
should.
it should. And there's a year, at least one year, the year when Ben went down, when we went with Mason and Duck, and somehow eked out a 500 record. And what did we make the playoffs or just miss out on the playoffs that year? That should have won Mike Tomlin a Coach of the Year award right there. Like the man should have had one, but he was penalized for being too good. Apparently, of Tomlin was too. Tomlin was too good for rallying the troops that year. Apparently, that wasn't good enough for the NFL.
Yeah.
But like, if McCarthy wins one, like, guaranteed there's going to be a certain segment of the fan base that's going to be boo-hooing that for
right. That's what
reason.
I'm saying.
Like, I'm going to cheer it on because that's my guy. I want us to make the playoffs. Okay, Christine says we did make the playoffs that year.
I'm just saying it could get ugly. It could get ugly because a lot of people don't like to hear the Cowher versus Tomlin stuff. I mean, they're all been successful coaches at the end of the day. So I'm just wondering if like I said, Mike, with just the new defensive coordinators coming in, changing things up, new offensive coordinators coming in, Mike McCarthy with an offensive mind, if he would turn this thing around, and let's say this team ends up in the Super Bowl. Let's just say this team ends up playing football in February. You gotta really consider putting Mike. I mean, because nobody even gave this team any credit. And even to this point, Mike, I think people are still saying that we're not going to win the division. Baltimore's going to win the division. So to overcome all that, and let's say this team plays in February, it's not out of the question. And again, for Coach T to never get that Coach of the Year, I think that this could certainly kick some dust up in the Berg and Steeler Nation. I hope it doesn't. I think they're all great. I think that they all, what are you going to do? His career is what it was. He won a lot of football games. What do you want? It could have certainly went a lot worse, Coach T I'm talking about. So at the end of the day, I just can see how this could be an issue. But I want it. I want the results that would bring.
Oh, yeah. That
so
means
again,
we did something well.
Absolutely. So that, Mike, I thought was interesting. Mike McCarthy in his career has 12. His offenses have 12 top 10 scoring offenses in his career, 12 different times, and 11 in overall yards. Okay. Coach T, 6 top 10 offenses in 20 years. So again, you're always going to have the comparison. At the end of the day, I ultimately don't like it. I like all of our guys. I like Chuck Noll. I like Bill Cowher. I like Mike Tomlin. And now I like Mike McCarthy. And that's what it's going to always be. But, emotions over time, the ups, the downs, the ebbs, the flows, everything that comes along with football, that things could certainly get rocky for sure. So let's hope that that's not the case. Yeah. But again, if he wins Coach of the Year, that's saying some very good things about our football team. It means that we're improving big time. And we could win games at will. When we get back to that, Mike, when we could be down, and you don't even have to worry about it. You're like, oh, you know what? I'm confident in our offense. I want to get back to those days, when Ben was out there. I always felt confident that Ben Roethlisberger was going to get it done. Yeah. I did. And, I'd like to be back there someday. But I do have something interesting here, guys. This is a list. This is from The Athletic. I know a lot of people don't like it, Mike, but this is where this particular source is. This is talking about some top 3 tiers of the quarterbacks coming out of the draft next year. Mike, some names on this list that we liked in the past, some names on this list that we don't like. But this, Mike, is the latest article from The Athletic. This is 3 different tiers of quarterbacks coming out because this may be a topic for us at the end of this year. Of course, Aaron Rodgers announced that he's going to retire after the season. We have 2 young kids that are working hard every day at camps, at minis, at rookie camp this week, Mike, and also at rookie school. By Coach McCarthy this week. Mike, this is the tier 1s. The tier 1s being mentioned in this year's draft coming out, unless anything changes in the meantime, which I'm sure they will. But as of right now, Mike, here we go. Arch Manning. Arch Manning is in the tier 1. Dante Moore from Oregon. He is in the tier 1 quarterbacks. The quarterback from Oklahoma State, Drew Mestamaker. He is in the tier 1 quarterbacks. Notre Dame's CJ Carr, which I don't, I can't recall if he's who I'm thinking.
If he's related to the other Carrs, that's a hard pass.
Also, Mike, in the top 1, Ohio State, Julian Sang is in the tier 1, and the USC quarterback, Jaden Maivia, perhaps is how you pronounce that name. That is, Mike, who they have in the tier 1. Surprisingly, in the tier 2 quarterbacks coming out of college, Mike, there's only 1. And we'll recognize this name because it's a name that's come up a lot in the offseason. Brendan Sorsby. Brendan Sorsby, Mike, coming out of college, is the tier 2 quarterback in this list. In the tier 3 quarterbacks in this list coming out of the draft coming up next year, which could have it could be a big thing for us. Who knows? Mike, tier 3, LSU, Sam Leavitt. Miami's Darian Mensah. Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss. Of course, we liked him in the past. And South Carolina, Lenora Sellers. Mike, this was somebody that we liked last year. So, again, this is the list right here. And, however you want to grade these, however you want to tier these guys, I don't know. Yeah. But these are going to be the guys that are going to be coming out in this draft and are going to be catching a lot of attention as teams continue to try to find their quarterbacks. And I do want to say this, a lot of speculation, Mike, about the Baker Mayfield stuff that's going on. He's not getting things taken care of with Tampa Bay. People saying, you know what, he could be a great Steeler, which I do agree. Mike, this was passed to us by our own RB over the weekend. RB says the Jets, they are putting together a handsome plan involving multiple first-round picks possibly to perhaps be the guy that could pull Baker Mayfield when it's all said and done. Mike, which doesn't surprise me. It's been us and the Jets neck and neck trying to figure out who our quarterback's going to be. We gave them some of our guys. They didn't work. Mike, again, this comes back to Baker Mayfield and the Jets already thinking of ways to give away more first-round picks for Mayfield.
Yeah, that would be stupid if the Jets go out.
I agree.
And multiple first-round picks for him. I like Baker, but he's not a multiple first-round pick kind of guy. This would scream a Deshaun Watson 2.0 type trade. Where we're going to mortgage the future for this guy. No, he's someone you pick up in free agency. You let the season play out, and let it go that way. Because I don't think Tampa's going to trade him now or by midseason. Maybe if they franchise and trade him at the end of the year, who knows? But that would be crazy. And these college quarterbacks, we're going to see that tier list change week in and week out. Trinidad Chambliss is a tier 2 or tier 3 quarterback. Dude's a good college quarterback. That game is not going to translate to pros. He's going to be like 28, 29 by the time he comes out, it feels like. This guy's probably going to go back to school for 10 years if he can. He's on the Van Wilder program.
All right.
Lenora Sellers, he's the guy I wish would transfer to a school that develops quarterbacks. I think South Carolina, it's a disservice for him being down there. I respect what him and his dad are doing, being loyal to a program, but at some point you got to think about your future, and you probably should have went somewhere else that would have built around you and coached you up better. I just think his talents are going to be wasted there, and he's going to be a long-term project in the NFL.
All right, a lot going on, Mike. So we got a few things that we did blow through there. We talked a little bit about the possibility of the team greatly improving because of the new coaching. Also, Mike, the quarterbacks of the future. Of course, this group of names, you'll certainly be hearing this group of names roughly, I don't know, where are we, about 10 months from now as the draft does come around again. But there you go. Again, Mike, those are the names that you are going to be hearing. And again, Baker Mayfield, this is something interesting going on as well. Let's get back to the board, see what everybody has to say. Tortilla says, my sources tell me that JPJ has to fight crime in the Hill District if we pay him over $30 million. JPJ wants a sandwich named after him, the Stone Hands Sandwich.
Cats are rough.
Let's go here to Lindsay. Lindsay says, Hill District is crazy. No one wants to go there. Let's go here to Tortilla. Tortilla says this, give JPJ Fox's contract, pay him $221 million over 4 years. Christine says, Chris, 100%. Let's go right here to Tyrone. Tyrone says, Christian Gonzalez, 54 tackles, 15 assists, 0 picks, 46.1 completion rates allowed. And here's the thing about it. Let me just cut you off real quick, Ty. People talk about JPJ not getting picks. I mean, Christian Gonzalez is somebody that's considered, one of the top young corners in the league. And I don't see, look at there's 0 picks right there. So again, I think who nailed it? Christine might have nailed it earlier on the screen. They're just, or Lindsay, somebody, they're just not getting the interceptions anymore. These top tier corners, Mike. You mentioned Sauce Garner, of course, and Christian Gonzalez. These are the names. These are the guys that's making money and are going to be making money in this league at corner. And Mike, the picks are definitely not up. So if that's the argument against JPJ, it's, I think you have a few other angles you could take when you're arguing for JPJ. Let me finish what Ty was saying. He says 46.1 completion rating, allows giving up 1 touchdown, 57 passes, rating 36 completion rate. Tyrone follows it up by saying it's pretty close for real. Last year, I think they both had top 5. Let's go here. Ty says Mike 100%. Tortilla says JPJ is literally 3 picks away from being on the Madden cover. Lindsay says fans will be happy, I think. Tyrone says no Tortilla. You trying to give my goat bad juju? We made the playoffs. Okay, that was back to the year with Duck. With the Duck. That was a crazy year because seeing a quarterback running around with number 6, it just took me right back to the Bubby Brister years.
Right.
Like instantly. Let's go right here. 2019, Mike Fax. Mark Malone. Mark Malone says this. We're going to win a ton of games. We're going to win a ton of games this year and contend in the I agree. And if we don't listen, who knows what the next step's going to be? Because this was my my fix. I said it was getting stale. You have to, we got to figure out how we're going to change things, and it's probably going to be the coaching staff. If we go out there and play a 10-7 and get get knocked out in the first round, people are going to be really scratching their heads.
Yeah,
saying, "What are we going to do?" Lindsay says if he wins is the Super Bowl, they will forever say it's because of Tomlin. Yeah, but see the thing about that. Yeah. Just like with Noel, though, it was hard to do that. It's hard to do that because, again, you can't exactly say Cowher started winning with Noel's players because it was a stale a system that he had. So, again, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That will be forever be an argument. I couldn't agree with you. If he wins us the Super Bowl, gotcha. Mark Malone says probably. Tyrone says, I don't know about that, Lindsay. Tomlin had his team for years, did nothing. That's going to be the difference. That'll be the difference because, Coach Cowher was coming off a Super Bowl win. That was the easiest argument to make for Cowher fans. And, let's go down here to Lindsay. Lindsay says, damn well people will say that. Come the fuck on. Also, Tyrone. Tyrone says this and delusional. Lindsay says Jamal Prime fucking example. Where is Jamal? I hope everything's going good with him. I haven't seen him in a couple of days. I know he listens sometimes if he doesn't jump in, but I hope things are going well with him. Tyrone says this. He says when Tomlin took over, that team was already stacked. You're right. They were stacked, and they were better than they were because you got to remember when they won the Super Bowl in 05, 06, they didn't have a good offensive line. They just continued to build and get better and better. So even though they didn't have the greatest year, they had the what's it called? The hangover year, but it was still the same squad. Let's go here to Stacked. Haven't won a playoff game. Much difference. Lindsay says this doesn't matter. People will say it. Promise. Absolutely. Especially now, everybody's a pain in the ass. Everywhere. Like if you read any kind of comments on anything on social media, I just want to throw up, man. People are just fucked up, man. Let's continue on. Let's go here to Christine. Ryan, 100%. I loved all of them. I love Cowher so much that I remember thinking, who is this Tom? I know, me too. I agree. LOL, it took me like 2 games to get over it. There was just an element that Cowher brought, with the spitting, and there was a lot of energy. And I think his energy resonated in the locker room a lot of times. And, I think the results were a good indicator of that. Probably that's just goofy Tyrone saying. Christine says I would do anything for Dante Moore, but it ain't gonna happen as long as we don't end up with Baker Butthole Mayfield. I like the name. Baker Butthole. Let's go down here to Tyrone. Tyrone says facts. Christine, I will take the top 8 guys in this class. We will get 1. Trust. Tortilla follows it up with saying this. Jets are in a rebuild. Jets have been in the rebuild mode since the 60s.
Right?
When they had that one good year in 09, we knocked them out to go to we went to the Super Bowl. Let me finish. I'm sorry. That's not fair of me. Jets are in rebuild mode. I don't know, man. They traded both their star players on defense. Why turn around and trade multiple picks for an aging quarterback? They have nice offensive Jets. Well, they have nice offensive players. I mean, they've been building. Again, this is another team that gets a lot of high draft picks. Maybe you're a decent quarterback away from. I don't know. Maybe I'm making more of this, but they are the Jets. You're right. And again, it's something that I could see them doing, Mike and Tortilla, just because they are the Jets. 1969, last successful season they had, basically. Let's go here to Christine. Christine says Baker is such an a-hole. He is such bad luck. for me, so he cannot 100% be our quarterback. Trust me, we will never win. Mark Malone says this: someone may snatch Rudolph from us toward the end of the preseason. Mike, I was thinking about this morning. What's going to go down with Mason? Maybe we don't carry 4. Maybe Mason goes to. Maybe we get rid of Mason. At the end of the day, you got to shit or get off the pot at some point. Mason is what Mason is going to be. He's a solid backup, and you know what? If he goes in and goes 0-1 last year in the season in a backup role as a starter, I think one of these young kids could very easily go in and lose a game in this situation. What exactly is Mason bringing to the table, Mike? That we just have to keep him here.
No idea. To be honest with you, I don't know at this point. Like, I like him as the number 2, but if you want to develop the 2 young guys, there's only so many snaps to go around. Once the season starts, might as well keep the 2 young guys if you want to go that route.
I agree.
Unless McCarthy really likes him, and unless Rodgers really likes him, they think they're him being there is valuable and of importance to help with Rodgers preparing. But so Mason can do all those dirty detail type things and help Rodgers and those 2 compare notes and shit like that. Who knows? You know how a lot of starting quarterbacks love having that veteran backup quarterback that they can bounce ideas off with. Hey, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing pre-snap and shit like that? They like that voice no matter how good they are. They like having that second set of eyes. Big Ben was the same way. He loved having Charlie. Hey, Charlie, what are you seeing out there? Like maybe Rodgers really likes Mason and it helps with him preparing for the game and shit like that. That stuff goes a long way in the NFL.
Absolutely. Let's go down right here. Someone may have snatched. Okay, we did get Mark Malone. Mark also says never like Gayfield. You know what? My opinion on him has always been this. I agree generally, but at the end of the day, he went to Cleveland and did things that none of these other high-end quarterbacks that they drafted for the past quarter century has been able to do. He got them wins. He got them winning records. He got them to the playoffs. He got them a playoff win. So at the end of the day, there's always been a part of me, Mike, that didn't really hate Baker Mayfield. I mean, yes, he's kind of a little chody kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I get that. But at the end of the day, the dude was always a competitive football player. He kind of put me in mind of far and away just the style that he plays. He went to Carolina, did okay in Carolina, and then ultimately, Tampa Bay. We'll see what he could do this year. But I never hated him. Like I said, he's kind of like a little chode. But at the end of the day, he's won football games where nobody, again, like these aren't just any other quarterbacks. The Cleveland Browns have been drafting top quarterbacks for a quarter century. And for the one guy to be able to come in and get it done as a Browns quarterback, I got to give him a little bit of love for that. That's just me personally. Let's go on to Somber right here, where Somber is saying this. Somber says, everyone's joking about JPJ. Let's just sign Slay, cut Dean, and then start Eckler. See how that goes for us. Lindsay says, Somber, that's just gross. Let's continue right here. Mike Tomlin says, JPJ is mine. I'm taking credit no matter what goes down. Always great seeing Coach T on the board. Lindsay says this. It might be the difference, but let's not act like the idiots. We'll say it regardless. Absolutely. Let's go right here. Or won't, of course, right. Tortilla says, I just think if they win a quarterback, they'll have their pick from a few of them. And here's the thing about all those names coming out next year, Mike. There's not that many teams that are going to need quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Like, we need a quarterback. The Jets need a quarterback. There's teams out there, Mike, that need a quarterback right now. And again, you get a nice class. As you know, this is no secret. This is going to be a good class for quarterbacks coming out of college. And, if we get that class, I mean, we should have pretty decent options come draft time next year.
Yeah, we should. I think like the Jets, the Cardinals, man, really not that many. Like I'm looking at all the teams right now. Maybe the Falcons.
Where did Carson Beck go? Tortilla, where's Carson Beck?
I can't remember.
The Falcons, I mean, they have 15 quarterbacks. I mean, they, in theory, shouldn't be going after a quarterback.
Yeah.
You're bringing in Tua. You still have Penix Jr. I think somebody else is even in there.
Yeah, so there's not that many teams out there like that desperately need a quarterback, but the teams that do, that you figure they're going to be picking in the top 5
Right.
anyway. But hey, according to all the experts, we're going to be picking inside the top 10 anyway, so it doesn't matter about draft capital moving up for.
Yeah, that's what they tell us. So
That's what they tell us.
If we keep listening to Tater and company, we'll be we'll be high up there.
Yeah, I just want to know like how many of these top tier 1 quarterbacks are going to fall to the second, third, fourth round this year. The way a lot of quarterbacks last year that were like, oh, this guy's going to be picking in the first round. This guy's going to be a first round pick. Because remember, preseason, Beck, Aller, these guys were talked about as potential first round picks, and look where they fell. And how many of these guys are going to be in that spot? Like Mendoza, not a lot of people.
I mean, one guy was in the national championships. I mean, I don't take anything away from that crazy eye bastard Beck, but it's tough. It's tough, Mike, following and trying to figure out which quarterbacks are going to be able to carry over from one league to the next, because it is a small percentage that are able to do it successfully.
Yeah, because like one of my favorite sayings outside of Franco Harris retired to Seattle Seahawks is Danny Warfel won a Heisman Trophy, and just because you're good in college does not mean you're going to translate well to the next level.
Also, I mean, what's her name?
Tebow.
No, Mike Webster. He finished as a chief. So at the end of the day, but that's a new one. If Mike Webster can retire a chief, TJ Watt can retire a Brown. See, that's why I gave that to you, because you've been really heavy on the Franco one.
I needed a change up.
A little bit of a change. Let's go here to in the Bucks concern. Do we get this tortilla? I just think if they want a quarterback, they'll have their pick from. Okay, we did get that one. Christine says this: Jets are the worst franchise in the NFL history. When you're a Jet all the way till you die. Your last dying day. You know what the thing about those Jets fans? They're very. I don't know. I guess like the word that's been used on the board, delusional. But Mike, they're really into their Jets, and I don't get it. You have the Giants. You have 34 teams in the New York district area, and in the 5 boroughs or whatever the hell it is. How you land on the Jets, it's beyond me. Because again, the Giants do win every once in a while. These people that are the diehard Jets fans are just so. Again, like to me, the Browns fans.
Yeah.
But I get the Browns fans. I don't get the Jets fans. I just don't.
Neither do I. Like you said, in New York, there's multiple teams you can pick from in every single sport.
Yeah.
Pick the best one and follow them. Why would you be a Mets fan? I'm going to be a Yankees fan.
Yeah. Well, some people like the underdog rule. I get that as a fan. But, you have 30 fucking teams. How you land on the Jets?
Yeah. You go Jets, Rangers, Yankees when you live in New York. Pick those. You're going to be happy.
Yeah. Lindsay says this. She says, if I see Mason this year, I'll cry. I'll be right there with you, sister. I'll be bawling my fucking eyes out, to be honest with you, if I got to see that. If I got to see Mason in there this year.
Joy and happiness.
Mark Malone says, hopefully Howard shows well in the preseason. I hope both of the young gentlemen do, to be honest. I want to be encouraged by this young quarterback, because I'm not. Here's the thing. A lot of people on this show, especially, I know we have Ohio State and Penn State fans. I get why you love it. I get that I would love it too if it was my guy. I'm just saying I can't wait to see these guys, and I hope they both ball out so we can all be a little bit more encouraged with the situation at hand and say, you know what, maybe we don't need Mason Rudolph around here that much. And
maybe we don't have to trade up and get a guy next year if one of these two hits. Like that's the dream scenario right there. Like the coaching staff is so enamored and happy with the growth that they've seen out of the two young guys. First round, it's like, hey, Omar, hey, Andy, go find us the best overall football player. We'll find a spot for him on the team. That's the dream right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get back on it here. Christine says Howard will show 2 things, Mark. Tyrone, tell Mark what they are. Tyrone says, I like Howard. Tyrone says this, but Christine's saying Mark Howard will show 2 things, Jack and shit, and Jack left town. I like that. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says Cardinals. They definitely. Where did Beck go? I'm sorry. Is that where Beck went?
Yeah, you're right. The Cardinals. Yep, the Cardinals.
Okay. So maybe they do got their guy. I don't know. Even though he's got the eyes on the side of his head like a cardinal bird, which actually
so he fits right. He looks like the goddamn logo.
He does look like the logo. Back on the Cardinals. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Mark Malone says we trade JPJ. We'll be able to get our guy. Christine says this. Christine says that will work out good for Beck. Like again, how every season for the Arizona or the Cardinals, wherever they play, works with the exception of one. I'm sure that would work out just great down there. Let's see, Tortilla says Carson Booty Ice. Mark Malone says we'll be picking near 32. Hopefully. Listen, if we're picking near 32, guys, we're all going to be smiling. Believe me. Mark Malone, JPJ could retire a Dolphin.
Ooh.
Yinzer Joe says, who's Lamar Jackson? Tyrone says, that's a positive. You would be the worst GM in the NFL. Tortilla is saying at Yinzer Joe, my dad. Christine, let's see what Christine says. She says, this will like me growing up. I had no choice. I didn't want to be homeless, and now my kids have no choice. And round and round and round we go. I agree. Yinzer Joe, Tortilla says this, Dolphins don't stop. They keep going. Yinzer Joe says, this guy's Tortilla. Your daddy owes me money for my PB&J sandwich. Let's go to Christine. Christine says this, I actually admire fans that are going to stick by their lose. You know what? I do too. There's a part of me that certainly does as well. I hate people that just jump on the team because they are winning and don't know shit about it. I agree 100%. You know when I really started seeing this, and it wasn't the Patriots, I guess when it should have been, Seattle Seahawks. That was certainly in this century, the first group of bandwagons that I thought was the worst. Because I don't think it didn't feel to me like people were flocking to the Patriots. There was always something about the Patriots. And Christine, you're right. Kansas City is huge for this as well. But there's a lot of people that jumped on that Seattle Seahawks bandwagon right when they were getting ready to win that Super Bowl with Russell Wilson and the 12th man and the stadium's loud and blah, blah, blah. It seemed like a lot of people. And I just wonder, where's all them Seattle fans at now? You don't hear them quite like you did a decade ago, but Kansas City certainly falls in that category, Christine. But I agree. This is why I'm never going to not be a Pitt fan. This is why I'm never not going to be a Pirates fan. They're my squads.
This is why I've always been an Indiana Hoosier fan.
And look at Penn State. They haven't won in like 40 years. And look at Mike. He's still
there. We were robbed in 92 because Nebraska's head coach retired, and the media was like, oh, well, he's retiring. He deserves it. We're number one the entire fucking year until the last goddamn week. Some bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm not over it.
Nah, whatever. Let's continue.
Fuck you.
Let's continue on. Tortilla, he says, yeah, I remember people who I knew didn't follow football, or all of a sudden Legion of Boom. Absolutely. And you know what was a big one for me in the 90s? It was Bronco fans. When they won them 2 back-to-back Super Bowls in the late 90s, it was so fucking annoying because all of a sudden everyone's starting buying the new the Broncos gear, and it was they just changed that uniform just somewhere in that area with the darker colors. It used to be the bright orange and the helmet with the D on the side, and that was my first real experience with bandwagon jumping. Mike, was the Denver Broncos in the 90s, but the Seattle Seahawks were real bad, and then also Kansas City, of course, a lot of Chiefs fans out of nowhere. Like, who would have thought over the past 50 years there was this many Chief fans out there?
I knew there were a lot of Chiefs fans in Kansas City because they were sold out.
Well, obviously in their
but
city,
they started propping up all over the nation. Like, where y'all been?
Yeah.
Not many fans outside of Kansas City. Rather suspicious.
Yeah. Christine says yes. So I couldn't agree more, Christine. It is annoying. Yinzer Joe says this, I give the Browns fans credit if they've been hanging on since the 80s. If not, jump off that Browns shit and pick a good team. Every fan wants to be happy with their winning team. And, it's always been kind of something I thought about. Just the way the Ravens situation went. I mean, that's your team. That's your Browns. And talking about bandwagon, I mean, you're not a bandwagon if you like the Ravens because, again, that's your team. Oh, so I always I always kind of thought that would be a tricky one. I know that the diehards, the Cleveland Browns, they're never not going to love the Browns. I get it. They love football. They're very similar to Western Pennsylvania and Eastern Ohio. So I get all that. But at the end of the day, Mike,
like if your team moves, you have free reign to follow the team and root for them or pick your own team. at that point that you want to follow. You're not a bandwagon fan. You're just a new fan to that team because your team fucking said, fuck you, I'm out. You have every right to change allegiance. That's why I feel no pity for the Browns fans that are still the Browns fans. You had your chance to go and follow that team to Baltimore or come to your senses and root for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You fucked up.
Let me ask you something. What if the Steelers are? I mean, this is for everybody. We're all huge Steeler fans here, guys. What if the Steelers owners up and left one night and moved to South Carolina? Well, let's just say, for an example, and we're all diehard Steeler fans, and then a couple years later, they bring the new Steelers in town. Do you follow the South Carolina Steelers? Like, they would change their name and everything, but it's still your team. It's still your organization. It's still your Steelers. Or do you wait it out for the new stinky expansion team that isn't going to be anything for, who knows how long, and they're certainly not as good as everybody. Where do you fall? Where do you fall in that situation if that happens to your squad? Because, again, I think it's a shitty situation. Yes, the Cleveland people were shitty people, but it is a shitty situation. I can acknowledge that. And it just makes me wonder which road I would go, because at the end of the day, if you go with your original Browns, they're not the Browns anymore. They're the Ravens. And while there's a Browns team sitting here, you still, I think, could be a Ravens fan. I don't know. How do you handle that, Mike?
It would all depend on how they left. If they left by saying, hey, you're not buying us a new stadium, I'm out, I'm leaving, it's going to be fuck the Roonies. I'm just going to be an NFL fan. Then the new team comes, I'm going to be the fan of that team. And some might say it makes me a hypocrite because of what Modell did. Arthur Modell gave the city of Cleveland a shit ton of money. He helped build the basketball arena, helped build the baseball stadium, and the town told him to fuck off, so he fucked off with them. Hashtag I support Art Modell. But if the Roonies would say, oh, you're not giving me money, I'm out, be fuck the Roonies. The city and the taxpayers, we've given you a shit ton of money for 2 fucking stadiums. Fuck you if that would happen. And then I would support the new team that would come in. But I would be a mercenary for that year. I would be whoever is winning that week, that is my team for that week.
You know what? I'm going to get caught up in some messages here, Mike. I did email you over those 2 pictures.
Yes.
I don't want to forget. Just at some point before the show ends, I want to make sure we show those 2 pictures of the ones of Mike and Derpy on their profile. So again, we will be getting those pictures. I want everybody to see what everybody's feasting their eyes on. But we'll get to that in just a moment. But you do have that there in front of you, though, Mike, right?
Yeah, I'll have them ready to go.
All right, good deal. Let's jump back on the board, guys. Again, not want to miss anybody here. Christine says this: diabolical people around here don't even watch football, but they just Cowboys fans anyway. What the hell is the deal with them anyhow? Who are all these people that like I'm not disagreeing. I totally acknowledge this. It's gross, and we have it here. People, a lot of people either love the Steelers or the Cowboys for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I guess
I know one of them. And his reason makes sense because his uncle played for the Cowboys in like the 60s or 70s. That makes sense. Family thing. Everyone else, you're all bandwagons fans from the 90s. Get the fuck out of here.
But we did have, Tony Dorsett, of course, right here in our backyard, growing up in Aliquippa, graduating from Hopewell, but growing up in Aliquippa. So I could see that, but I don't think that that's what it was. Like, I think that ultimately in the 70s, the Steelers became such a thing, and they never were before. So there was the people that, like now, they just go against the nature. They go against the flow. They have to be against what everybody else is into. And it really seems to me that's stuck with people here in Western Pennsylvania. Other than that, I don't know much explanation. I have no explanation on why so many people would like the Cowboys here in Western PA. I think it's kind of retarded. But let's scoot down here a little bit. Let's go to I think I'm still yes, all right, I'm still moving down right here. Tortilla says, honestly, I like the bandwagon fans better because some fans know what's going on and are still stupid. Those are the worst. In I guess both sides of the fence, right? They both got their morons. Lindsay says this. She says, I'm still supporting me too. And here's the thing, Lindsay, whenever the Pittsburgh, who were they, Mike? The Maulers were here. You know what? They wore black and gold, so they was my squad. I guess I'm just a homer. I always will be. Let's continue right here to Christine. Christine says this: I would flat out die. Hell no. I would wait it out for the stinky expansion team. That would never happen to us, though. There would be riots. I agree with you guys. Tortilla, he says this, at the very least, the bandwagons will be gone once the winning stops. Don't got to deal with them no more, but the dumb fans who stay dumb get on my nerves. Christine says, I would 100% be a Steeler fan, and the Steelers are in Pittsburgh. If they leave, they are not the Steelers. I agree. Lindsay says, yeah, I don't think it's happening, so I'm not worried about it, to be honest. And finally, Tortilla says there's a few Kings fans who still defend the Aaron Fox until their last breath. Guys, so that's what went down over the weekend. Like the Knickerbockers winning the championship. Mike, I see. Yeah, go ahead. What do you got going on?
Give me 1 second. I got to check something. I thought I heard something.
All right, Mike is checking something that just perfect timing, because I was just throwing it over to him for him to talk about the email, or I'm sorry, about the website. So I will do that for him. Go check out our website, guys, over www.d2wyinzers.com. Lots of cool things over there. Mike does get a lot of work put in over there. I know that him and RB and Chop all do work together on the website, and I know that they did a great job. It's a total overhaul from what it was when the season ended. Guys, do go check out the website. Lots of cool things over there at www.d2wyinzers.com. That's www.d2wyinzers.com. Let me grab Christine here. She says, I just want to see the Ravens wear their throwback jerseys. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great, Mike, if one year they started doing what the Texans and the Titans are doing
Or
down
the
there,
old Browns ones.
and they show up in the old Browns jerseys? Wouldn't that be great?
Oh, that'd be great.
Definitely animals. Lindsay says, let's go right here. Lindsay says, New York is a disgrace. How do you win and destroy your own city? I know. Let the animals play. Definitely animals. Mike, it's time to get into some trivia on today. Today, the trivia is going to be a TJ Watt question, as we were talking a lot about the contract earlier. That seems to be the buzzing story around town. I don't know why. Not today for the reasons that it is, Mike. They just don't have anything to talk about. But this is what the topic was today. It was TJ Watt's contract. So today we're going to have a TJ Watt trivia question. So do put on your thinking caps, everybody at home. Mike, everybody on the board. Here we go. What is TJ Watt's lowest output of sacks in a season?
Ooh.
What is the lowest amount of sacks TJ has in a season? Now, this has nothing to do with injuries. This has nothing to do with anything. This is just the facts, cold hard facts, the numbers at the end of the year. What's the lowest amount of sacks TJ's had in a single season as a Steeler, guys? Think that over. We're live 5 days a week, right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. every day, right here on the tube.
On tube.
Tortilla, he's thrown up his answer, Mike. He says 7.5. Tyrone is saying 5.5. 5.5. If anybody has a different opinion, maybe a guess, maybe you may know it, do throw up what you think as well. Dude, JD is saying 7. Lindsay says 5.5. Mike, what's your thought process? I see Yinzer Joe saying 7. Everybody's right between 5.5 and 7. I'm seeing Christine says, well, 2022 he was hurt, so probably 5 or 6. Mike, what's your thought process? A whole lot of different answers here actually on the board.
I know like 7 last year was low, but God, I'm stuck between like 5, 5.5 for the 1 year that he was hurt in his rookie year. I'm gonna go with 5.
5. Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
All right, I'm locking you in, Mike, on 5. Christine says, well, in 2022 he was hurt, so probably 5 or 6. Lindsay says, right, they aren't counting injuries. Yeah, just everything out. Just if you look down the years, just need their lowest amount of sacks. That's the answer to the question today. Let's go think it was his rookie year. Yinzer Joe said, guys, a lot of people with some different thought processes here, guys. Not far off. I got to be honest with you. Lindsay says somehow. But guys, the question of the day is, what has been the lowest sack output for TJ Watt in a single season here for the Steelers, guys? Whether it be, one season he had 7, and that's what you think it is. Continue to throw up your answers if you think that you know it. We need JPJ questions soon. All right, we could do JPJ tomorrow. I will get you tomorrow, my brother. Let's go here to Christine. She says rookie season he had 7 sacks, but only played 10 games in 2022. All right, you guys ready? Mike, got your final answer? Your final answer was 5?
5.
Tortilla, of course, is saying 34. That is his lowest when he was injured, though. And that's, again, that's not even really the debate. The debate is, the number, the least amount of sacks he had in a year, whatever the situation was. I don't even care. Yinzer Joe says no, 5.5. He was injured 1 year, half. So here we go, guys. Question of the day. What is TJ Watt's lowest output of sacks in a single season, guys? It was the 2022 season when he missed 7 games, 7 of the 17. He had 5.5 sacks. So good job, guys. We did get some people that we did get correct. Obviously, let me go back here. There we go. Tyrone got it with the 5.5. Also, Lindsay with 5.5 nailed it. I think Christine Yinzer Joe ended up getting it there. And let's fucking go. That's right. That is what Tyrone says. But guys, you did nail it. 5.5 in 2022. As a matter of fact, I have all of his numbers right here, guys. The most he had in a season, of course, was 22.5. That was 5.5, Joe. In 2021, he had 22.5 sacks, which was the most. In 2023, he had 19 sacks, which was the second most. In 2020, 15. In 2019, he had 14.5 sacks. In 2018, he had 13 sacks. Okay, so I see how it's moving around. So this is the most to the least amount of sacks. In 2024, he had 11.5 sacks. 2017, he had 7 sacks. 2025, he had 7 sacks. In 2022, 5.5 sacks. That's from top to bottom. Again, 21, 22.5 sacks. In 2023, 19 sacks. In 2020, 15. 2019, 14.5, 2018, 13, 2024, 11.5, 2017, 7 sacks, 2025, 7 sacks, and again in 2022, 5.5 sacks is the breakdown on his career of sacks. Let me jump back on here real quick. Let's go over to how many interceptions did JPJ have in his best season? Mark Malone was saying that. Also, Tyrone says, Lindsay C, I'm a real true. TJ, thank you. Next. Tyrone, Lindsay, Ty says how many TDs he gave up in 3 years, Mark. And then finally Mark Malone says he gave up at least one against the Bungles that I can recall. Also, he had that really good play last year, guys. What it should have been a touchdown. Isaiah Likely in the first Baltimore win, knocking that ball out of the hand right there in the end zone near the end of the game. So, I mean, that was a hell of a play. Should have been a touchdown. I think that without that effort, Baltimore wins that game, so you got to give that to JPJ as well. Let's go here. Yinzer Joe says Joey had 1 interception each year, LOL. And Tyrone says, wrong, Mark. Trade him. So, Mike, that is basically what's going on. We have 90 days till the Steelers kick off regular season. That's 90 days from today. That's TJ Watt days until the Steelers kick off their regular season. They are back at the rookies are back at Mike McCarthy Rookie School this week, tomorrow, today, and Wednesday. Also, Mike, camp starts on the 29th of July. Everybody will be showing up there team-wise on the 28th. So that's all next month. There you go. Mike, it's halfway through June. Tomorrow's going to be the 16th of this month already. So just a little over a month away. We're going to be back at camp, guys. It's got to be feeling good. And you know what, Mike? It couldn't have gone any faster. It's been a very, very, very busy and eventful offseason for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So it's right around the corner for us, man.
Right around the corner. I can't wait for it to get here because we need some live action. We need people hitting people. I can't wait. I can't wait, man, because this offseason has been great. It's been electric. There hasn't been a single move done to where I was like, that's stupid. Why did we do that? Every single move has been great and on point. Training camp needs to get here.
I agree. Let's grab some more messages. Tyrone, wrong Mark, trade in. Tyrone says never give up a touchdown in his career. Tortilla says how many Joey Porters are the GOAT? Let's continue down here to Yinzer Joe, Daddy Porter the GOAT. Also, Ronald. Hey, what's up? Great seeing Ronald Albright on the board as always. Nice seeing you back. Hope things are going good for you, my friend. He says, I think TJ gets set up this season by his coaches to at least get 10 games of 3+ sacks in a game and goes over 30. You know what? It's kind of crazy to say, but considering the new coaching staff and the new schemes and I'm on board. I think that TJ will do better, and I hope that he does. And again, I'm against TJ Watt in no way at all. I just want him to play up to his money. That's all. I don't think that's that bad. Let's go on right here to Tyrone. Tyrone says, my dad loved Porter Sr. He had his jersey too. Wish he was alive. I am sorry to hear that, brother. Man. Ty says they're both the GOAT. Let's go here to Tortilla. Daddy Goat is my rap name. Also, Lindsay says Tortilla is on one today. I'm dead. Also, Christine says TJ's career forced fumble rate still stands. You know what? And I love that. So again, you know, if we were just totally hating on the guy, it would be one thing. But I don't feel that we are. I just would like to see him play as he gets paid. That's all. A few things, Mike. I have something that I hate. Kind of here at the end of the show today. I have something a few things we're going to talk about. You know what, Lindsay? Me either, man. Me either. Lindsay says, can't wait, Mike and Ryan. All right, I'm going to finish the day up here. Mike, okay, Mike has I want to show you guys the pictures. I'm not going to get into it. I know that some people don't want to hear it all the time. So I do want to put the pictures up that we do have on the profile that has been getting all the attention for Derpy and Mike. And I did send them over to him. So these are the pictures that all the women are swooning over. This one here is, who do we got first, Mike?
I'm going to I think this should be Derpy coming on up.
All right, so here's Derpy's picture on the website. And we got to remember, Derpy, there it is.
You couldn't get one to make him look more of an adult.
You know the funny thing about this picture over there, a lot of people's going, "Oh, you're into the role playing. What kind of role playing do you like?" And that's something that you do notice through a lot of the messages that he's getting is people think that he's role playing when in fact that's Derpy's everyday attire. So that's the picture right there of Derpy over on the site that again we are. I'll tell you the site eventually. Like I said, I could see people getting on, and I want to kind of this to be even across the board. So this is what the people. Holy Jesus, Mark is saying this is what people were seeing over there, and there's Derpy's picture. So Mike, let's take a look at your picture also that we put up over there. Mike, who's got 57 views and 23 likes. Again, Derpy, 49 views and 16 likes throughout the weekend. Mike, let's see your picture that's pulling them all in right here. And there's Mike. It's an older picture.
So that's really old.
Yeah.
That's really old.
But this is what happens when you allow me to go find it. So I don't know what the hell your most recent pictures are or what the hell. So there they go. This is Mike's picture. And this is what's pulling in all the ass.
This was, I think, me right before my kid was born.
Yeah.
So you can see I gained a lot of weight in grade.
So there you go.
Fuck you, Tyrone.
So there you go. Now you see what all the guys are going after. And we'll,
yeah, I think that's what. No, wait, that might have been after the kid when I started going back to the gym because I looked really good. My shoulders look better. The chest looks better. Yeah. But fuck you, Tyrone. You start laughing. Oh, now I'm getting text messages from people watching the show that I work with. Awesome. Awesome.
Well, they're just texting you now. We were giving the results of the man ass you were pulling in at the beginning of the show, and they're just texting you now. This is what I don't even understand. But there you go.
Fuck you, John.
Let's get back on the board here, guys. A few more before we get ready to start wrapping things up. Ronald says this: how long before Alex Highsmith to the Denver rumor start to replace Cooper, the woman beating bastard? You know what? It's off season. I wouldn't be surprised if our radio stations start talking all this bullshit tomorrow. Tortilla says Ryan is role playing super Derpy. And you wouldn't be surprised. Again, these guys are very aggressive. These guys over there on the site, and they love the fact that Derpy looks like he's in the role playing. I'm just saying. I'll give you more details as we go. Love that flowered wallpaper too. Christine says. Tyrone says the Superman shirt with the cape. I'm fucking crying. And you know what? That's how he goes to those.
That's how he shows up, brother.
What are those called?
Cons, Comic Cons.
Cons. Yeah, he dresses up like that.
You know what? I applaud Derpy. I applaud it. Like Derpy is Derpy, man. He lives the gimmick. He is who he is.
Absolutely.
And it's just fucking great. Because I wish I had that confidence to go and dress up as Superman and fucking walk around. I couldn't do it. Cheers, brother. But my God.
Yo. Mike's the GOAT. Ty says, I need this laugh. I'm fucking crying. Lindsay says, you did derpy dirty as fuck.
No. Lindsay, that's the best picture we probably could find of derpy.
Well, yeah.
Like,
but
we can always go the topless one.
But I mean, just think what's going on. It's derpy with. It could have been a topless one. You're right, and it should have been, as a matter of fact. Good point.
You're right.
Tyrone says you did derpy classic. I'm in tears. Tortilla derpy is Superman, and Mike is Lex Luthor. And Lindsay says, derpy looks like he's wearing a diaper. Mike, you know what? He don't laugh. He could beat you. He might beat you when it's all said.
I hope he does. My man needs some self-confidence.
Mike, you were only up by only 8 views, 57-49, and 7 likes. So it's not out of the question yet.
Not out of the question.
Super derpy sex Luthor. Tyrone says next picture we need derpy when he came on the show showing his milkshakes. And that's what it really should have been, I think. But I think that would have blown it out of the water, and he would have dominated had that been the case.
If we're going topless pics, let me know, because I will shave and make myself look really good in those topless pics.
Don't tempt me. Do not tempt me.
Like, I will commit to anything to fucking win, to beat derpy. I'm game.
Respect that. And then finally, Mark Malone says the topless one would have had way more hits, probably. You're more than likely right. Maybe I dropped the ball there. But again, don't tempt me. We still have a half of this month to go, literally. So a few things before we do get ready to what I hate. I forgot to tell you what I hate. Because the other day I made a comment, and I didn't believe what I said. And I want to make it clear. I was talking about something last week, and I was like, I usually don't like to say I hate things. When that's a lie. Because I hate a lot of things. Here's the new thing I hate. You ready for this? I hate when people say, and if you say, listen, I don't hate you. I just hate it. When people use the term my guy. Why is that a thing? Why do people say that?
My guy. Come on.
My guy. Hey.
Why are you upset, my guy?
I'm not your guy. Okay, my guy. I don't know. Again, if you say it, I don't care. But that's just something that you're never going to hear me say, and I don't know why. My guy. I don't know. I've heard that a lot of times in my life, and it never stuck, and I don't know. I hate that term, my guy. Whatever. Guys, let's get ready to let's start getting ready to wrap things up if we can. But I do want to say this: the Pirates are back in action tonight as they do play have a 3-game set against Oakland out there against the A's or Vegas or wherever the hell they play or from anymore. That game is the first of 3 tonight at 9:40. That's the Pirates, Mike, and also a lot of championships. There were championships that were won over the weekend. The Knicks in the NBA, the Canes in the NHL, the Louisville Kings in the UFL, Mike, all wrapping up the championships. Our Pittsburgh teams, the Riveters, the Hounds, and the Passion, all big wins this weekend as well. And the Pirates fall to 500 for the first time in quite a few months.
Yeah.
So they have a series with the A's. Hopefully, they could get back on the winning track. But again, I'm not going to hold my breath. Like I could feel the season starting to slip away. I just got a vibe. I got a vibe about these Pirates. I've always had the vibe, and you know what? I've been right for about 35 years. So, also, what else? I do want to say this with all these sports, Mike. I know that makes me want to have a few drinks. And if you also like to have a few drinks and enjoy your sports, try some Duquesne Pilsner. Mike, they're now in 6 and 12 packs, at the Giant Eagle. And also wherever cases are sold, the people with Duquesne Pilsner are pretty awesome people. They always help us out with promotions and us like for those. So we ask guys to support them. Maybe you don't like to drink beer that much. Maybe you're not a beer guy or a beer gal. That's fine. Swing by and check out some of their social media. Do hit some hit some follow buttons, like a few things, guys. I'm sure that will mean just as much to them. The people with Duquesne Pilsner are really good people. I'm not just saying that. We always do have their beer here at the studio on tap for any event that does come along, Mike. The beer is made right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Duquesne Pilsner. It says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Maybe while you're looking them up and supporting them, do swing by and check us out on social media as well. We're on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and even TikTok. Swing by, hit the follow button, and keep up with what's going on with the Two Dumb Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. And if you hadn't yet, Mike, and everybody watching, do hit the like button down below. Hit the like, the share, the sub, the comment. It all helps in the algorithm, guys, and pushes things out there. We appreciate it all. do hit those buttons before you leave today. Mike, your thoughts on today's show? We had quite a bit to talk about.
Yeah. A great show as always. Good talk about TJ Watt. Yeah, we understand where you guys are coming from. We hope you understand where we're coming from. We want Watt to do well. We love TJ Watt because he's doing well. That means the team's doing well. I'm hoping for a big bounce back year from him. Fuck the Golden Knights. Still loyal. Hell yeah, go Canes. You guys bringing it home. Nice to see Jordan Stahl bringing it home. And Buccos, can you score some fucking runs for Paul Skeens? That'd be awesome.
And also, guys, we don't want to forget the rookie school is going on this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The rookies did stay in town to work with Coach McCarthy and staff just to go over some individual work. They will be done. They'll wrap that up on Wednesday, Mike, and then the wait will be on July 28th is when the guys will start rolling into St. Vincent College in Latrobe. And the 29th will be when the camp does get started. So very, very soon, Mike, just about 5.5 weeks away until that is all here, believe it or not. So it won't be very long, Mike, but it's just 90. That's right. TJ Watt amount of days till the season does kick off. So in the next 90 days, we have camp, we have preseason, we have a lot of things going on with our Steelers guys. And again, probably the most eventful offseason I've seen. And I think the most productive offseason in a lot of ways that I've seen in a long time. So hopefully it all pans out for us and we can get the results on the field that we've all been waiting for. Let's grab a couple more of these, Mike, on the board before we do get ready to wrap it up for today. I'm going to go right here to, there we go, Lindsay. Make sure you show hella cleavage, Mike. It's a competition. So you're going to have to show cleavage if you're going to want to get the numbers. Let's go here to Steel Loyal. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Steel Loyal. He says, just want to say go Canes. I'm still at work, my man. Thanks for checking in, and thanks for the comment. And the Canes did win the Stanley Cup, Mike, yesterday. Yes. 4 games to 2. So my Knicks win, your Canes win. We draw on that. So I can't do anything to embarrass you much more than what you're going through right now anyway with the, of course, the competition with Derpy. So we did, Mike. We drew there. I got the Knicks. You took the Canes. We both ended up winning, and also, and thank you, Steel. Hope you had a great weekend, sir. And Tortilla, Mike. Tortilla says games in Sacramento, light the green bean. Okay. Steel Loyal says, just want to go. Okay, we got that. Even Tater's still in the crib, still in the house. Nice seeing you, Tater. Thanks for sticking around with us. Lindsay says we don't understand, Mike. Just playing. Ty says Bernard 17. Hope you get to sit next to Paul Skeens, girl. Roman all day. Let's go right here. Ty, hey, my man, thank you so much. Great show, you bastards, he says. Thank you, Ty. You the GOAT, as always. We'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again and get back into it, Mike, with seeing what the Pirates can do in this series with the A's, but ultimately seeing what our black and gold, our Steelers, are getting ready to do as we were just about 5 weeks away, 5.5 weeks from camp, if you can believe that, guys. The show here, we are episode 983, 17 short shows away, Mike, till the July 5th. Celebration show right here for the 1000th show. Also, the 5-year mark of the show that's coming up as well. Very excited about that. We hope everybody could join in and hang out with us then. Look on the board and make sure I'm not missing anything else. I do want to say this, Mike. I want to say thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys are awesome. You guys always keep the show interesting, and that's why we love you guys. You guys are just as big as part of this show as we are, and we wouldn't have it any other way. You are the lifeblood of the show. We couldn't appreciate you any more than we do. Thank you so much to everybody on the board. Also, everybody that's at home, maybe listening in the car, in the gym, maybe at work, sitting on the toilet, just listening to the show. We want to thank you too, guys. Everybody, much love to everybody. Thank you so much. Michael, tomorrow we got Tuesday. We'll be back getting ready to find out, hopefully, some scoop on how rookie school might have went today, as that does play out through this week. This is a new thing under Coach McCarthy. He did put this rookie school together, so very interested to see how this plays out. What we learn, if we can learn anything, maybe about the quarterback situation, maybe how Aller's looking. But again, like 10 people from this draft class is the 10 that I'm going to be paying attention to. Yeah. Of course, you have a bunch of other scragglers and situations that are there as well. However, these 10, I can't wait to see how this plays out. How many of these 10 make the team? Where does Eli fall into play, Mike, with the Caleb Johnson situation?
Mhm.
So there's going to be a lot of questions still moving ahead, guys. This thing does not get any less exciting for us Steeler fans as this moves along. We're going to be there before you know it, just 90 days away till kicking that football off, the kickoff season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, baby. I know everybody here is excited. I know I'm excited, but we will be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. Let me grab a couple messages and we are going to out. Lindsay, thank you. Thank you, Lindsay, as well. As always, thank God. Talk rookies, no teacher. And you know what? I told Mike, TJ wasn't even something that it wasn't even the direction I wanted to go. As a matter of fact, I wasn't even going to touch it because everybody else already was. But you know what? It was Monday. I thought, I don't know. So we did. But I guess there's no guarantee on what tomorrow is going to be talked about. But as I said, I didn't want to jump on the bandwagon today. But sometimes it falls that way. But we will be back tomorrow at our regular time to get into that and so much more. We hope everybody joins us then. Mike, I hate the term "my guy." I guess you learned that today.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I think that's it. Am I forgetting anything?
No, just real quick here. I know no one probably cares about this, but I saw it when I was just scrolling through Twitter for any news. The tiny nation of Cape Verde of 500,000 people just played the number 1 team Spain to a draw in the World Cup. You may not like soccer, but my God, sports is fucking awesome. This is like Aliquippa tying Georgia in a football game. This is why I love sports. These little scrappy teams out of nowhere upsetting like the favorites. Beautiful moment there. I'm gonna go watch some videos after the show wraps up.
See, I don't care about any of that. I just care like that the Team USA won. They won their game. So
dominant fashion. There you go. 4-1, baby.
There you go. So there you go. The World Cup soccer's going on. Team USA gets the win. And all that. So we will be back tomorrow to get into everything the Pittsburgh fans love, that the Yinzers love, that Steeler Nation loves, and so much more. Tortilla says Tijuana. Guys, I think that's it, Mike. Anything else for you? I'm going to swing around. Speak now, forever hold your peace, my friend.
I'm all good, right, my guy.
All right, I hate that. I don't know why. I just do.
It does get, or I hate when people go, "My brother in Christ."
That don't bother me, but that actually means something. My guy doesn't mean anything. It's just lack of not coming up with a good time. But anyway, we'll talk about it tomorrow and so much more. Again, we hope to see everybody back tomorrow at our regular time. For Derpy, for Vince, for Chop, for RB, for Mike, myself. Everybody have a great Monday. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Tortilla says, "I got it, my guy." Thank you for that. And we will see everybody tomorrow, guys. Have a great Monday. Stay safe. Keep cool. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.